Hey, welcome to another Friday night. We got the living room going on. Loyalty is the topic tonight. We want to see if you can be loyal and be here with us. So it's time for the living room. We live with Art Imitates Life. Let's go.
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Life. I'm Tanya Dixon, and the greatest place for your news, entertainment news, the whole shebang. The forum tonight, we got T coming up first. Who spiked the tea? All kinds of stories for you. Some sad, some just bad, horrible, and some things are kind of humorous. So you got to stay tuned for that. And of course, in the living room, we have loyalty. Does your loyalty cause you to take things more personally, however you want to put that? We want to see what you say. Oh, and I think that my phone is talking back to me. So be here with us. We're going to take this break to talk to me, hear from my sponsor. We'll be back to get it kicked off in the living room in just a few moments. Here we go.
Art Imitates Life with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Candyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Hey, welcome back. It's time to get it started, but let me go ahead and have my people unmute themselves and let me bring you on in here. It's time for us to get rolling, rocking, introduce everybody. What's going on? I heard a lot of feedback. I heard a lot of
Excuse
stuff
me,
going
miss.
on. What's that sound?
Excuse me, miss.
What's that? What's that noise going on? Somebody
There we go.
has some probably Rick. Probably Rick. How y'all doing?
We good. We good. We
Good.
here.
Chilling like a stone cold villain.
Living and
Okay,
surviving.
I know that's right. I kind of chilled out. I am hanging with the Dimples team tonight. Glad to be a part of that. I'm an honorable member. My dad had dimples like y'all, so I'm an honorable member of the team, so,
Well,
of the Dimples team.
Dimp
But
set.
y'all
Hey,
are
you got
so
the trait.
chilled
You got the
in.
trait. You got the trait.
Okay, I got the tray. I got the tray.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But y'all are so chilled out. Now I know why Michael chilled out. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But for let's start off with everybody. How was your week? And we'll go and see what each one of you did and the whole nine. You know how we do here on this show.
The hell
So
happened here?
Rick, how was your show? I mean, how was your week?
It was
Uh-oh.
good, man. Just like I said, just repolishing some pieces, repurposing them, so I can make room for the new. Work's been good. Promotion's been good. Just a lot of good, but I've been getting a lot of news of lost loved ones. Lately, it's like that. I don't know if it's just a
Right.
season. It's just that time. It's
Right.
just gotta be there to listen. I've been learning like just to listen to people. That's when they
Yeah.
need you the most. But it's a growing process. But nonetheless, yeah, I've been learning, teaching, and I'm a lesson myself. So it's been good.
Okay.
It's been good.
Okay. Well, good. Margo, how was your week?
This week has been a little trying, but definitely busy. Swamped with paperwork and little people. So just figuring out a couple of other things about myself. Noticing
Right.
how sometimes some people, even with simple stuff, are starting to take shortcuts, and it's like we've been working this for how many years, and it's real simple. Like if you don't start out doing the hard stuff first,
Mm-hmm.
some people be like, "Oh, this is too much." Like, no, if you start out doing the hard stuff first, everything else is gonna seem easy. So I know that's my motto for myself. Do the stuff you don't want to do first, so you can get to the stuff that you want to do later. So
Gotcha.
that's
Makes
what I've
sense to
been
me.
working with. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That makes sense to me. Well, some folks, it's hard to adjust with some of them sometimes, but it'll come together. It'll come
Indeed.
together. Okay, Michael.
Mickey Mike.
We haven't seen Mike in a little while. He's been busy with a lot of stuff, and Michael has a big transition going on right now. So
Yeah.
let's hear
You
from
know,
Mike. How you been doing?
man, I've been chilling. Um, you know, today is my last day, baby. Well,
All
technically
right.
tomorrow, but as far as you talking about a business day, yeah, today is my last day. So I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Okay.
so a little stress relief. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But nah,
So you
it's
didn't
been
say your last day from where for people out there who don't know. You said your last day, but
I
you
don't
didn't
know
say your last day what?
the Air Force. I'm retired. You know what I mean? 22 years, 11 months, and 6 days. You know what I'm saying? They could have gave me the extra 24 days. You know what I'm saying? But nah,
Oh
man,
my God.
it's just kind of chilling. It kind of the last couple of weeks, man, has been humbling. I went to my grandmother's funeral. She passed away. She was like 95 when she passed away.
Right.
Then I was able to see like my family after 2 years, and then like the rest of my family. I had like nieces and nephews that I hadn't even seen since they were born. Due to
Wow.
COVID and everything. You know what I'm saying? So then the
Right.
whole military lifestyle, but so it was man, it was a pleasure to be amongst loved ones, family, and friends. You know,
Beautiful thing. A beautiful
yes, and
thing.
as we all came together and had a moment of fellowship and camaraderie, we watched.
All right,
Uh,
Michael Luther the King.
And when you look down off the mountaintop,
yeah,
and
we watched
Right.
Deontay Wilder get knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
No,
Oh my
man.
God.
Nah, it's been cool, man. I just been cool and just been chilling. Trying to get my sanity back. You know what I mean? So
I
Most
totally
important.
understand that. And I don't want to ask you what the plans are. You'll let us know what your plans are, where you landed, and all
my
that, of
plan
course.
is to make $1 million with the $5 million within the next 5 years.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to be checking you out on that one
you know what I'm
because,
saying?
I mean, we gotta speak it
yeah,
into existence.
yeah,
oh yeah,
exactly.
No, I
encouraging
mean,
one
look,
another.
man, look, I just want to live and be
Hmm.
happy, man.
That's it, man. That's it.
I know
I hold
that's
no,
right.
I mean, I don't hold no, now don't get it wrong. Now, money make life easier, but it don't make it better.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like when you
right.
look to the true
And
meaning. Now, yeah. And they say that though.
it certainly doesn't
They
make it
say
happier.
people that say certain things, it's because that's the person that ain't got it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? When they be like, "Oh,
Mm.
money can't buy happiness," because a broke person said that, I almost cut. The broke person said that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't it ain't the size of the whatever. It's the motion in the ocean. That's because a little person said that, right? Like like beauty is only skin deep, and all of that. So
Cut his mic. Tony, mute
what?
his mic. Mute his mic.
I
Yeah,
know.
it
He's doing
out.
a lot. He is doing a lot. I'm
I'm
just doing
sorry.
other
I'm
stuff
sorry.
over here, y'all. y'all know I go into
you good.
other modes
Okay,
here, so I
I'm
just
done. I'm done. All right, my bad. It's been a long time. I miss y'all. Hey,
He's
family.
done. He's done for
we
now.
miss you. Yeah,
Miss
we
you,
miss you
buddy.
bad.
Hey, family.
But you know what? This week for me is roller coaster. This week I think I've told you all. Um, well, Margo, your birthday marked the 10th anniversary of my sister's death, and so yesterday was a birthday, and so I'm always really really mellow, sad, but at the same time, I didn't want to see her stay and suffer. So, I'm always wherever in all these universes and galaxies her soul is, how she's traveled on. I'm happy for her, So, like I said, it's up and down, on that. So, got through that, but it was a busy week for me. It was busy because I had two other shows Wednesday night. I had
Yeah,
Chef
you
Cat here.
did.
Yeah, so you all check out that show. It's on the channel, with Chef Cat, and she came in and talked about that bone cleaner barbecue sauce, and she said she sent a bunch of it to me in the mail. So I'm about to get
All
that bone
right.
cleaner soon, y'all.
Well,
I will let
you
y'all
got a pit master on here, though, right? You got a
know
pit
this.
master on here. So I think one of
Yes.
these days you're
We
gonna
got
try to
we got a pit master.
retirement with that bone cleaner sauce for you.
Yeah.
And so she said she
I just
sent me
want to speak
enough.
that into existence. I'm sorry, but
Right?
just want to speak
But
that
she
into
said she sent me
existence.
enough so I could make sure that the team has some too. And so I got that. And then she talked about her fashion line too. So I had a great time with her. Great energy. She's a sweet, sweet, sweet lady. Great energy. And we, of course, wish her well. And last night, I had a great time talking to the Hollywood head doctor himself. Dr. Boogie was in the house. That's the host of All Blacks, My Main Problem. And we had a
Mm.
great time talking. He was actually taking a break. He was doing Don Cheadle's wife's hair for projects that she's working on. So he was taking a break and talking to me. And he went up to the beach in Malibu, was talking to me. So Dr. Boogie is so humorous. He's so funny. But he had a lot of great information, great advice. And so if you all get a chance, check out that show too. Had a great time with him. So, and I'll tell you at the end of the show what's coming up next week. So, but
Right.
y'all, I think
Here we
it's
go.
time for us to sip some tea. It's spiked now.
Who
So
spiked the
we're gonna
tea?
yes. Go with that, Michael. Go hit that. Go hit that, Ron.
Uh,
He's not ready
man,
yet. He's not ready
you
yet.
know, I'm not ready
Not
yet, but
ready yet.
it's definitely a
Yeah.
song. Who spiked the tea?
Yes.
We ain't spiked the
I like
tea.
that.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that.
No.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, we know one of the things that happened this week that was really big was the death of Colin Powell, first
Yeah.
Black U.S. Secretary of State. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going
General,
to say anything about how they say he died
military
and all that.
general.
Y'all know how I feel about that. But military general,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to celebrate everything about his life and his accomplishments and not his death, um, just wonderful accomplishments that he had. And, he was 84 years old. And we happy to have had him. Um,
Right.
when you all think about him overall, I mean, just before I move on into some of the other stories, just overall, how do you feel about us having had that kind of face amongst the crowd with not just racial relations, but just in general, the stuff that he has done, the moves he's made, and what he has represented not only to people of color, but just people in general. How do you all feel about that?
I mean, he's just adding on to the legacy, in terms of contributing and doing the best that he can for this country. And I'm appreciative that even our ancestors allowed that to happen continuously. Because there's like
Right.
soldiers that we've never even heard of that are buried with unmarked tombstones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just a beautiful thing that we at least know his name. He
Right.
goes unmarked. He goes unmarked as we go unmarked. He left a mark on our hearts and on our minds, and for him just playing his position, or not just playing his position,
Right.
but doing his position, not just existing there, but actually doing what he can do. So
Yeah, first was it first black Secretary of State
And I
or Secretary? What? Yeah, it was Secretary of State. Yeah.
and I always really cool too. Yeah, first, former U.S. Secretary of State. I always thought it was so cool that he was the chairman for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I thought that was cool too. you
Yeah,
know, so I don't know
yeah,
how
man.
y'all feel about that, but I thought that was a real cool thing as well.
It's
And we happy to have had him.
yeah,
Go
it's
ahead, Mama.
one of them things. Nah, it's just one of them things. Like it hit the news where I think it was the Air Force IG Inspector General kind of did the whole thing about promotion and punishment. In the military and the Air Force or whatever, and those numbers were a little alarming. Raised a lot of eyebrows, raised a lot of attention, and it's when they start doing the whole wave of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and
Hmm.
seeing the struggle of people of color in the military structure. He was one of them people that had to deal with all of that, you know, all the obstacles and challenges that came with that, and he was able to rise in the ranks, and
Right.
become like an example for some. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Hmm.
so I came in. I was able to serve while he was doing Secretary of State. I believe he
Hmm.
did the first Gulf War. I wasn't in yet, but it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing to see stuff like that, and it give people hope for those that don't. Because for a long time, a lot of us was told don't join the military. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Right.
said the hell with it. I'm going in. See what's going on. See what's up. You know.
mm,
You know. But nah, man, it was a good
Okay.
thing. It is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. Something to look forward to. Something to give you hope. You know what I'm saying? You see people look like you in a position, so that gives you that sense of I can do that too. You know what I mean?
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Hmm.
that.
Even though
For our
you know,
young people out there, especially.
Right.
You know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful there. That we had him, but we sorry to see hear of his passing, and of course, his loved ones are in our prayers. You know,
Yeah.
but I want to move on to another story that's not so great, y'all. This story, and I'm getting a little feedback from somebody's microphone, so just turn your home mic down just a little bit. But this story here was a little hard for me. The star of the Fresh Prince reboot was involved in a fatal car accident in Los Angeles. All right. Um, I'm gonna pull up the other part of the article so I can give you a little bit more information here because I see that it's only going to give me a little bit in that one. You recognize this guy because you've seen him before. Actor Adrian Holmes, who is set to star in the upcoming Fresh Prince reboot, he was involved in the accident, and like I said, it was a fatal injuries for a man who was lying in the middle of the road at a freeway on Monday evening as the actor was traveling southbound on the 110 freeway in Los Angeles. And this is the hard part for me too. Since the law enforcement says that he hit the man who was laying in the middle of the freeway. He couldn't avoid, he just couldn't avoid it. And then he said that the person driving behind him hit as well, and then another. And it's like, oh my God, just to be in that thing that's devastating because I've been in something very similar to that. So I thought that was really, something that. But my question to you all is, did you all know that there was going to be a Fresh Prince reboot? I hadn't heard
I
that.
didn't know
Had y'all
that.
heard that?
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
So,
If you're gonna do something like that, of course, it only makes
mhm,
sense to incorporate the original cast, and I would say
right,
slowly bring in someone new. So that way we can
right.
adjust. So we can adjust. Because that
Hmm.
the sitcom, uh, to me, in a sense, an actual reality show, and a possibility show in terms of a reflection of a successful Black family. You know,
Right.
I think that to continue such a legacy, it's important because we have a lot of like dry or a lot of diluted nonsense that represents the Black household enough as it is. All these
Right.
non-reality shows, and I'm gonna call it like this: all these chicken and watermelon reality shows. I'm good. If it's gonna
Right.
be a soap opera, then let it be a soap opera, but don't call it reality because they're far detached from it. But for them
Right.
to reboot this, it's definitely it's pretty much it's like I want to say like a defibrillator. You know what I'm saying? Bringing something real back to life, or bringing something at least close to actual reality back to life from a comedic standpoint.
But like you say, to your point,
what was that?
Tanya, to your point, I think that it should have. Okay, am I breaking up?
Yeah.
Am I here? Yeah, I can see my connection was going like that. So yeah, to your point, I wish that it would get, maybe it's going to get more attention, but I sure hate that before they brought it out for the big attention, that it has this negative thing that has happened. And I hope that, they can get around that, and it won't be that, since this fatal accident, that it won't be something that leaves any kind of mark on the situation, that they get out and they get a chance to do this sitcom. And we can see what it's like. Hopefully that will be the case, that we'll get a chance to see what it's like, and without all of the darkness. And I'm going to give a shout out to source.com for that, the source.com for that story, as well as Newsbreak. I just wanted to make sure I give the credit to the authors of the story. Last week we had a lot of topics, and I was kind of slow, but this week I'm trying to get a little faster. Now, it tripped me out. You probably have already heard about this. I totally did spill all this, and I just thought it was hilarious. 61-year-old Florida man faces backlash for marrying his 18-year-old daughter.
Well, all right.
On the fire after news of.
Well, this wraps up the show.
I don't know. What to really say? I mean, I can only say we can't act like it ain't happened before.
Yeah, that Willie Allen Ice is.
Yeah.
Yes. It's too much.
Right.
Willie Allen Ice is real.
Right. And they say that I'm going to try to give his name is Michael Hoggabook. He is being labeled as a predator after he was accused of marrying Deja Hoggabook as soon as she turned 18. So that would mean that they had to be somewhere involved in some degree.
Where's the mama? I mean, I'm
hold on. Is Tanya
prior
still
to
in and out with y'all?
Yeah,
a little bit.
That
you pop locking a bit.
My
y'all too.
Tandyland.
Yes.
Tandyland.
Am I going in and out?
Yeah. You doing the whole Max Headroom thing.
Yeah. I can tell. I can see when I go down. I can see, because it's a certain time of the evening here where this happens. I guess there's a lot of people must be flooding this internet at a certain time, and I see myself going in and out. But what were you saying? Who was talking? Was it Margo? You were saying something?
Oh no, I was just them two were saying how you were going in and out, but I was just like, where's the mom in all of this? I mean, what happened with that situation? That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
I was reading the comments on that. No, I was reading the comments. Apparently from reading the comments, I ain't trying to follow all of that, but apparently he was with the mama at some point as well, and or the mom had a certain lifestyle. the mom had a certain lifestyle which caused the young lady to fade away, because she said it. I've been on my own since I was 16 and everything else. So um, I don't know. And then they said it was her godfather.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Her
God,
godfather.
The mother's probably planning the wedding. Quick, shut up.
it still is jacked up though,
And
but
yeah, because a lot of
yeah,
people said he was still in a fatherly role, or supposed to be in a
yeah,
fatherly
yeah.
role. So
That's
In-house predator. I mean, she, like I said, the mother's probably designing the wedding. She's probably planning the wedding. I mean,
so. Let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you all. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate on this. Uh, how soon is too soon in that type of situation? You know, being that she just turned 18, we know that they were
we don't know. We
beforehand.
don't know. We
I mean,
assume.
And
Yeah, we're
60s, right?
too soon.
Okay.
yeah, 61. 61.
Too
Okay.
too soon is not a factor. The factor is the child's godfather,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that pretty
Yeah.
much, you know, lets people know, despite the
Should have
time.
been off limits. Should have been off limits.
Mm, that's pretty much off limits. Like, not even
Yeah.
that shouldn't even be considered, limits or not. That's not even a factor. Should not even be a factor. Like,
Right.
I'm your goddaughter. The
Not
nerve,
a thought or afterthought either. Just
like,
be
ooh, I
doing that.
sure,
Yeah,
baby girl, I sure can't wait for you to get older. I
Yeah,
sure.
You know,
get out of go
Ooh,
around
you
the
know,
corner, get out the house, circle the block, go a little farther to find,
we act,
some.
we actually had a similar conversation like this a couple of weeks ago, and
uh-huh.
it's one of those things where it's along those lines, where women uh, date older men, and then men date older women, and like with the whole school teacher thing, if a man dates a younger woman, he's automatically a predator.
mhm.
But when it's an older woman, some of the women get passes, and it's not viewed the same as if it were a man
I mean,
in
that's
most
true too.
situations.
I mean,
So,
It
and
needs
I'm
to
not,
be.
and I'm not taking the light away from this particular situation, but there are cases where, in this instance, because we're assuming that there was previous actions between them two prior to them being her turning 18 and being married, but these things happen in households all the time where kids are getting abused or molested at an early age by older people, and then, like you said, like Rick was saying, it messes with them psychologically, and then fast forward, when it comes to light, it comes to pass, it's like, oh, that you a boy, that's glorified, boy, you got your notch. And then in the other sense is like, oh, he shouldn't be doing that, it's this, that, and the other, when all in all the shit is wrong altogether.
hmm
Mm.
You know what I'm
it's like
saying?
you're getting those stripes. Like, oh, you going, yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it's like I did it to gain clout, but at the same
But a
time,
woman gets called a cougar. Remember, the woman gets called a
yeah,
cougar when she dates a guy
the
that's
woman gets
younger
called a
than
cougar, the man gets called
Chester.
everything else.
a
Everything else.
predator.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
But a cougar is a
I was
predator
gonna
too, right?
look. I was gonna fight on that one, but I better shut up. I'm gonna shut
No, I
up.
mean, it's not, like I said, it's not about a man versus woman thing. I was saying that to kind of relate the fact of, that's how people see that type of stuff happens more often than is known. Somebody just happened to blast his ass. Whoever the young lady was, she blasted his ass. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
And
I got you.
and it took off. Like, I mean, it took off. Boom, it took off. So yeah,
He said,
I mean, cause
"Phew."
yeah, think about how many folks that ain't, you know, that that ain't been brought to light.
Mhm. Mhm.
Am I still freezing, y'all? Because I do see at times I'm going in and out.
And you all right
Okay.
now?
All right. We got to get our hype up, y'all, because it's like it's so
Well, I mean,
chilled out.
you talking about some serious shit. I mean, sorry,
I know.
sorry. Talk about some serious. My bad. Is it 20 minutes yet?
It,
My
Yes,
bad.
it's past 20 minutes.
No, okay.
okay.
No, I mean, you talking about some serious
I don't
stuff.
mean like that kind of hype. I don't mean like that kind of hype. I don't mean like that, but we y'all are really
Yeah.
chill.
When everybody laid back, look, it's Friday. You ain't got no job. Well, I ain't got no job. You know what I mean? Like,
What is
Ain't
your
got
dog doing?
tomorrow.
Tanya,
Yeah.
Tanya, what is the dude doing? What is he doing? Oh, okay, the dog. What is the boss doing?
He's over there just chilling right now. He's staying away from me because I still got this Benadryl for him, so he's staying away from me. So
Player.
Player ain't coming near me right now.
Yeah.
So Player is not feeling me right this moment. Oh, dude. Yeah, come on, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna do this Benadryl thing. I gotta still get him ready for this coughing. No, it's children's Benadryl. You can give your dogs children's Benadryl.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
All children, no matter how
My niece does that. My niece has multi-poos, and she does that before she gets on the flight. She gives them that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
it's best because they will mess you up.
Yeah, and it helps with not getting like motion sickness and stuff like that.
I don't dog walking around drunk in hell. Dog walking around the house.
Shut up.
Hey Rick, talking about y'all. Hey Rick, talking about y'all don't know me. Y'all don't love me.
Y'all don't love me. Alcohol. Benadryl. Y'all Mike.
Right.
Y'all are too much. We're gonna go to the next story.
Man,
Now, I you know what? Before I go to this next story, because this one's a rough one. So I tell you what, let me go to something a little bit more light, and then I'm gonna bring it back because we were kind of a little serious there. So I'm gonna go to something a little lighter, and then I'm gonna bring it back. Now, has everybody taken a chance to view the new show this week, Queens? Is an ABC show starring Naturi Naughton, Brandy, Eve, and the other young lady. What is her name? I'll pull her name in a few minutes. But it was a good show. And what I found to be interesting, first of all, Brandy was like really, really impressed because she actually gets to rap with Eve. Because Eve, we know Eve is the real deal. So, but.
That girl. Then she got married or something. Somebody said she got a
she's
Maximilian.
She's pregnant now.
She's been married to Maximilian for a while.
She pregnant?
Yeah, Rick. We told you the tea was spiked tonight, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's
a
grown woman.
Well, she's gonna have her first. So hey, congrats.
Right on.
He is a billionaire, y'all. So I mean,
not Maximilian.
She did well.
Max a billion.
I know he's like Max a billion, not instead of Maximilian. He's Max a billion. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Naturi Naughton, who we know was also with the group 3LW, she was just saying she kind of ratting out her girls during that time, and she was like, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a house, when they had tape for MTV Cribs, and it kind of shines a light on that show that a lot of these people are not having the lifestyle that people think that they have. They're doing stuff for the show, because we all know, if you don't know, a lot of music artists, when they're getting started, some of them are broke as hell. And it takes
time
because they owe people. In case you don't know, they owe everybody. They owe the label, they owe the producers, they owe the management, they owe everybody. And it takes a little while to get some money accumulated. So she was just saying, don't use whole thing, and she was doing that they didn't have that kind of money, and they had, they had to rent those things. You know, she says there were moments when I watch where I am in a scene, and I'm like, "Yo, this really happened to me." And she was talking about the Cribs episode, like she lived things doing a fake Cribs, and she was on telling people on the Breakfast Club about it. So she was saying MTV did the Cribs, and you know, back when 3LW was hot, we had to pretend. But I didn't have a car, I didn't have a house, I didn't have any of those things. But we did MTV Cribs, and then we wound up doing an episode very similar to that, without giving too much away, where you see how fake you have to project an image. And she was talking about how they're going to be doing it in Queens, but again, these music artists, a lot of them don't have these. And the other fourth girl in Queens is Nadine Velasquez. But how these music artists, they don't have that, and they have to fake it in order to make it look like they are just balling out of control. And if you don't know that, hopefully we're telling you now that you ain't gonna be walking in to no music career and you just, doing everything on day one. Not even day 6, not even day 60 or 600. You may not even have any money like that.
When you don't give into those mansion parties, they're gonna take away from your shack. So
now that's why they have to go on tour. That's why they have to go on
That's
tour
money
to pay
comes
for
from.
all that.
yeah,
Hmm.
they're not
Money
trying to
comes from promotions.
they're not trying to be in those Hollywood slave auctions. That's what it is. Not that it's a
Mm.
problem. It's the decision,
Yes.
their integrity.
Yes.
You don't get paid off of integrity these days. So you're not going to get paid off integrity. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's just the thing. That's just the nature.
Monopoly, man. You take
That-
you take what's wanted, and if you got the money, you buy it up, and you make it, and you force everybody else to have to come to and through you before they can get anything out.
Mhm.
Music industry, real estate,
Hmm.
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, and all kind of
That's
other
true.
things, man.
That's true. It's
Behind the
not
Yeah.
what people think it is. It's not at all what folks think it is, But I'll
But guess
just
what?
say this. What's
We
that?
don't do it. We don't do it for the money. We do it because we artists.
right.
You know what I'm
And they
saying?
said about our
Hey, we express ourselves, and if somebody just so happen to like the way we express ourselves, then they try to pay us for it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And then they become culture vultures and take our everything.
basically. And there's always several doors behind one. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's always several doors behind one in that industry. So more power to
Well,
them.
Is that called a labyrinth?
Nah, that's a good one.
what's
Might as
that?
well. A labyrinth, like a maze or
Yeah.
something similar to a maze.
Okay.
That's
It's
I
a
actually a
learned a
good
good.
one.
word.
It's actually a good movie too. An old school movie, The Labyrinth.
Yeah, with the
Really?
Yeah,
his
all the little creatures and stuff in it.
Yeah,
hmm
I have that one.
Okay.
I
You
I
Yeah.
I own it
Yeah.
actually. So
What's
nope.
that movie with
Nope.
Iggy Pop? What's his name? I painted that cat.
David,
David Bowie. David Bowie.
Yeah.
See, y'all just cancel me when you start talking that it's a kind of a scary type thing. Y'all cancel me.
It ain't scary.
It's not scary. It's
The
not.
creatures,
Okay.
the creatures are like magical, mystical creatures, like Alice in the Wonderland.
Yeah, I think it's a John
Okay. Then
Henson
yeah, it's Jim
Jim Henson.
Henson. Yeah, it's Jim Henson.
My bad.
then I might can take it. Might do it then if it's that
Yeah.
case. I can do it.
Nah, it's
I don't do nothing
it's meant,
scary.
nah, it's meant for kids though. It's meant for kids.
Yeah.
Family
Okay.
movie.
Yeah.
I don't trust the family movies these days. Y'all know why.
Late.
Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone.
They be sliding stuff in.
Yes, they do.
Mm.
Yes, they do. Okay, you know what? Let's go to this other story.
Mhm.
This one's a hard story because this
Uh-oh.
goes to show how people are just not right in the head.
Oh, okay.
Hmm,
Three
okay.
screws loose from cuckoo.
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
lot of folks involved in this one because it's a main. I'm just trying to get my system to come back up right now. My computer is just frozen for a moment, so I'm just really waiting for this to happen. Okay, here it is. All right, man accused of raping a woman on a crowded train was released from immigration detention and never deported. Now the crazy story is, let me go ahead and give y'all the lowdown on this. Shout out for NEWSBREAK and Fox26Houston.com. Philadelphia exclusive. The man who allegedly raped a woman in front of passengers on a Philadelphia area train already has a criminal record and had overstayed his student visa, but was protected from deportation by the immigration system.
Okay.
Let me give you some more details real quick. Let me give you a little bit more detail real quick. Tucker Carlson tonight confirmed that Fiston Nagoy, who was arrested last week for allegedly raping a woman in a brutal attack on the SEPTA train in front of passengers, came to the U.S. legally in 2012 on the student visa. However, the 35-year-old Congolese national's visa was terminated in 2015 because he failed to remain a student. Meanwhile, the court records show that he racked up multiple arrests and 2 misdemeanor convictions, one for controlled substances and one for sexual abuse. And he pled guilty in 2017 in Washington, D.C. to sexual abuse misdemeanor. It was sentenced to 120 days in prison and 9 months probation. Now, in this situation, this particular thing, they said that all of these bystanders, and I'll go to that part of the article, they filmed the rape. They did nothing to help the woman. This was on a suburban Philadelphia train. Yes. Okay. They say this went on for about 45 minutes and nobody helped this woman. What the hell?
Okay, now he raped this woman in front of all these people. Yes. They did absolutely nothing. And now
they filmed it.
No, that's what I'm about to get at. So they say so is that footage available for public view?
I don't know, but I know that they are looking at the possible evidence that they must have put it out there. And there is some evidence. And so they are considering, I guess, as to whether these people should receive some type of charges as well.
Ooh, that's gonna be that's gonna be a huge one. I'm just trying to figure out. So for 45 minutes, you just stood there watching. I mean, did you not consider or think in your mind that person was either did he give her something to make her pass out and rape her on the train and everybody else not know? Or it's just kind of hard to be like, I can't be up and screaming and y'all don't do nothing and y'all just watching me through the camera in your the lens of your phone. That
right.
Everybody,
somebody and more than just one person that's actually doing it, but the people that's there filming it and ain't helping out. Something needs to happen to them too. I just think that's kind of tough. That
reminds me of the
I was wrong on something. I'm wrong on something. Not 45 minutes. I heard somebody say something about 45 minutes before, but no, it lasted 6 minutes, but still was 6 minutes too long. But go ahead.
I think that's the what was it, like 1960 something, that lady Kitty Genovese or whatever, where she got murdered and nobody reported it because everybody thought somebody else was going to report it or say something. You know what I'm saying? They use that case in some type of class, whether it be criminal justice or whatever, when it's talking about the bystander effect or whatever the case may be, where you got a bunch of people that's witnessing something, but nobody wants to say nothing out of fear of reprisal, not wanting to get nobody else's business, or thinking that somebody else was going to say something and do something. But the lady was like screaming and hollering for help. Nobody reacted until then all of a sudden she was murdered, and then now the police come by and it's like, well, why didn't nobody say nothing? That's what that remind me of. That's what that sound like. This lady was and having
Right.
something done to her, and nobody intervened. And typically, and I ain't making
Right.
excuses for nobody, but most people be like, "Well, I'm gonna just mind my business. They ain't got nothing to do with me." Or I don't want this person
That
coming
is
back
the
trying to do
weirdest
something to
thing.
me. And
Mm-hmm.
like,
Right.
that's crazy.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that just confirms that we are at war more than
Oh,
just
yeah,
what is on television. In terms of
Right.
the news, we at war with
yeah.
whole
Kitty Genovese. Yep,
different,
Kenny Genovese.
we at war with a different kind of entity, and that plays a part in a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're gonna sit there and stand and just watch. So so collectively, these people must have had a fetish, one and or two. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just I mean, this to me, that's all I can take it
It
as.
kind
These
of
people,
like the gladiator days. Humans like to see violence and
right,
crazy stuff, and
right.
then
So this is
Right.
nothing new. This is nothing new. But
Right.
we are at war with a whole different kind of entity. A
Right.
whole
Mm-hmm.
different kind of entity. You can take it to a religious aspect if you want, but I bet you it'll make sense. I bet you it makes sense. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing new under the sun.
I cannot handle how people are that careless. It seems the most weird thing ever that people would actually be that careless. But I know with sign of the times, what's going on right now.
But the question is, are they people? That's the thing. Are they even
Mm.
people? What are they ran by? What are they empowered by? What are they generated
Don't
by?
take me there tonight, Rick. Don't take me
Yeah,
there
straight
because I will go. I will
up.
go because they
See,
just may not even be.
you know what I'm
They
saying?
just may not even be.
We've been on that. We've been on that page. We've been on that same page. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And this ain't nothing new. None of this. But I would say this: they say this and that. They say this and that. Where's the footage? Number one, where's the footage?
Mhm.
Because they can
Right.
say the same thing about someone that's a paraplegic. I've seen people get. It's not time or place, but
Mhm.
anybody can be convicted of anything these days and put your face over their face and say you did it nowadays. Anybody can get caught up in the system for absolutely, and they're not even there. It makes no sense. So all this
Yeah.
stuff is adding up. It's like, damn, it's like, hell, I might as well just stay the hell at home. I
that's what
might
they
as well
want
stay
you to
the
do.
hell at home. It's
That's what
man,
they want you to do. They want you to stay at home.
yeah.
Let you stay at
You
home.
sound like Eddie Griffin right now.
Huh?
I know he does. He
You
does.
know,
He
this
does.
podcast, you sound just like him. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the plan. Build fear. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. So you're already possessed with that cowardice behavior.
Man, y'all need to go look at this. I think it was the Twilight Zone with Dennis Hopper. It's an episode with Dennis Hopper, Twilight Zone episode, and they're
Mhm.
doing a mockery of the World War II guy in Germany. I don't know if we can talk about that person or not, but they're doing a mockery of that
Right.
guy who we were at war with in Germany.
Mhm.
Um, and they got a good thing on it. I got a clip that it said because they talk about how do you control a mob, right? And they're talking about a person in power, and it's like, how do you control the mob? And then the answer is you have to make yourself one with the mob.
Mm-hmm.
You make their worries your worries. You make their concerns their concerns. You make their fears your fears, and then you speak to them in their terms and give them objects of their affection. Make their hate your hate. Make their things their. You know what I mean? And you identify and become one, and then in their process, you end up winning over the mob. But I say all of that to say to go back to the whole fear thing. People fear something. It's typically what's going to be pushed, broadcast, and seen over and over and over. You know what I mean?
So it's normal.
Yeah. Think
Where's it
about think about where you grew up. I know we jumping subjects here. Sorry, I'm gonna get back to
No,
it.
you're
Think
fine.
about
You're fine.
all
think
relative.
about think about where and how you grew up, how we grew up. I ain't gonna say you, we. Think about it. Before you even enter adulthood, the things that you've seen, the things that you've witnessed, depending on the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle that you live, however many murders, dead bodies, robberies, abuse, and all of this. We normalize things as Black folk. We normalize things that no human being should ever see or witness or bear witness to. Coming into the military, for me, my experience, I seen so much stuff before I even came in that, somebody passed, somebody died. It was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Unless you had like a connection with that person, that may sting a little bit and hurt a little bit. People like, hey, bro, this just happened in front of you. You all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? People,
They're numb. They're numb.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the word of you're emotionally and mentally numb to that, man. And how?
Right.
How
Yeah.
and or why?
I can answer that right there. I can answer that. You can answer that too.
You know what I'm saying?
They're soulless. They're absolutely soulless.
All right.
There's no other way around it. They are absolutely soulless.
My mind is going to the fact that it had to be something really wrong with any individual, and I have to say that there's got to be something wrong with your soul for you to sit there and to watch someone being attacked in any way. I couldn't even watch an animal being attacked like that, let alone a human being. So there's something to that. I don't understand exactly what it is, but there's something to it.
I don't want to see anything, but I'm trying to imagine how graphic that had to be,
right,
for someone not to say anything or do anything,
and devastating.
You know what I mean? And I mean, like I don't, if somebody, I don't know the details of that story, so I don't want to speak, but if this young lady was screaming, hollering, fighting, fussing, kicking, flailing, and everything else for her life, and everybody just saying why. I mean, it's one thing like if they appeared to be a couple and it seemed like something, it could be some confusion. But a person go to hollering and screaming and kicking and flailing and everything else. If that was the case, it's hard to sit back and think that nobody did anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If those were the factors of that situation, and it
seems to be what happened, because I've heard the story several times this week. I'm surprised that more people hadn't heard it, but I heard it in two different entities where I did not expect to hear this story, and everybody was saying the same thing. How do you live with that? How does your soul live with that? How do you get up and look at yourself in the mirror and you watch somebody get brutally attacked like that, and you just sit there? I'm sorry, I'm just not that kind of person. I'd be fighting. I know me. I'd be all up involved, hitting with something.
But here's the thing. That's if you have a soul. If you have a soul.
That's what it seems to be, some issue there. There's got to be some issue that's there, because I don't understand how any person could tolerate that and just live through it like it was nothing. I don't see anything to that.
Right.
So I'm gonna move on from this story. This one is a weird story to me. Boy, oh boy, this one's weird, but okay. And I'm gonna tell you why it's weird afterwards. Actor Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun on the set of Rust that killed the cinematographer.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, say it again.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So, Alec Baldwin they were filming this movie, and one of the gun props, they was doing the scene or whatever, but he ended up shooting like a director or something.
Right, he did is he killed the director of photography. Her name was Helena Hutchins, and he injured the director, Joel Souza. And I'm just saying to myself.
And I know on the newscast they said they wasn't sure if it. I don't know now. You may got a bit better facts, but initially they said they didn't know if it was a bullet or if it was debris or something that caused the injuries. But I don't know what you got now.
Right, let's see here. They're just saying it was a props gun. That's what they were saying. And how did it get to that? I don't understand. I know they say that they airlifted the director of photography to the hospital. She was pronounced dead by medical personnel. So this had to be pretty crucial. in the whole situation. And the other guy, the director, was taken in ambulance as well. He's undergoing treatment for his injuries right now. So, I mean, I'll just say this, and can happen to anybody, but this is a female DP. As a production person, the female DP is badass. And this chick, I mean, she was doing her thing, and how she died is just not, it's not fair to me. You're doing something you love, you're doing your work, and somebody in some situation like this, it's just beyond me how this can happen. So I actually I just wanted to show this picture because I
But
actually, as a,
aren't they supposed to inspect all these
yeah,
Yeah,
things
that's,
it's
before
supposed
I
they
to
would,
stay.
even?
And
I
it's a
would think,
prop gun. Let somebody switch
yes,
something out. That's,
something happened there, and I'm gonna tell you what I think it is in a few minutes when I go into my conspiracy on this, because I got one. But this is the DP, director of photography, Helena Hutchins, and to me, like I said, DPs are badass to begin with, and the female DP, and that really bothered me a lot. There's not of them, so it's not a lot of them. So, just really wanted to share that with you. But if you go off the Tanya theories, the Tanya theories are different. The Tanya theories say there was something else going over here, because that Baldwin man is on that list.
Mm, mm,
He's on that list.
mm,
You know
mm.
what list
don't
in
the,
which I'm speaking of.
I know what you're talking about.
the,
I know
He's on
what
that
the,
you're talking
list. hmm
about.
And so I feel like they have different ways that they're checking out of here to keep their image in control. So anything's possible. All I'm gonna say is anything is possible. I'm just really just I don't know. But I just think anything is possible on that. I am not a fan of his, haven't been a fan of his in a while. So but
It gets deeper and
okay.
deeper every
I
day.
saw Michael's message.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Michael. I ain't gonna say it like that. But
No,
really
I'm
I just
just
wanted
saying.
to.
You said it like 3 or 4 times, and I was trying to.
I mean,
Uh,
because when I see a female DP, that is what I say. That is, that it is. Because
Very
if you have to be a production person to actually know what I mean by that. When
no,
you're
I know. I
shooting,
get you. I
yeah,
totally understand. Yeah, like because
right.
in especially in the Hollywood thing and in certain roles and gigs like that, it was male dominated for a minute. So to have
hmm
yeah, yeah.
Especially as a DP, come on. So that that part is pretty good. Shut up, Michael.
I
But
didn't
you
say
know what?
nothing.
Speaking of movies, I'm gonna move on to the next story real quickly here. Movies. Again, shout out just now to Newsbreak and shout out to them again. Halle Berry told the director of X-Men 2, "Kiss my black ass," after a
Oh,
confrontation over his drug issues that didn't go well. Damn.
ooh,
Halle once told director Bryan Singer to kiss my black ass while on the set of X-Men 2. That's
mm,
what Page Six reported.
mm.
Co-star Alan Cumming recalled the incident in his upcoming book, Baggage Tales from a Fully Packed Life, and the cast staged an intervention against the director who sparked the confrontation. So,
Mm.
Hallie, I'm like, go girl.
Speak on.
But yes, that's what I'm saying. But Singer guy, he admitted that he was taking painkillers at the time, and the cast of the 2003 blockbuster staged an intervention for him. Yeah, he would have had an intervention. I told him to kiss my
well,
black ass like Hallie.
There's
So,
the
it was
intervention right
serious.
there.
It was
yeah,
serious. If they did
yeah,
all that, yeah. It wasn't nothing
yeah,
he was hiding, or
right,
wasn't hiding it well.
right. I
But
know, right? And so, and he, I mean, I don't know. Some people just get away with a lot of things, And so I guess what he has said, he's coming. Listen, I'm gonna give this article here so I can give you a little bit more. The co-star Alan Cumming was recalling this whole incident, and he remembered that Hallie uh, she spoke movingly of people who had known about the drug issues, but the director didn't respond with so much grace. And he responded, "You people are full of effing S." Y'all know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
so, yes, and so Singer continued his rant to telling the actors that none of them had ever made a decent film, and they were lucky to be working with him, and all this other stuff. He was just going off, right? And so,
Huh.
in response, Hallie said to him, "You can kiss my black ass." So that's
Mm.
how it went down. So, can y'all blame her for just going off like that? What
I
do y'all
mean, she
feel?
was being real. She was like, I'm gonna be my natural black self, and I'm gonna tell you what comes to mind when I hear you speaking like that to
Right.
anybody or me. So
But I
I
think,
don't blame her. Sometimes,
yeah,
like y'all say, somebody
Yeah.
needs to catch that other side of you when you feel like they going, way to the left.
Right.
Like
When you
bring you
when
back
you
to reality and tell you who I am. So
now
right.
that's
when you call yourself going off on somebody, you can't be mad when they decide to go off on
On
you.
you.
But for every action, there's a reaction.
If there's an
Right.
So
act, there's an
He
opposite.
thought he was gonna get away with it. That's what that
mm-hmm.
was. He really thought he had a chance of getting away with that. And they said, Hallie was wait, come here. So she got his ass. Big up Hallie for that. But black
Mm.
women, I gotta go to another story here. This crazy. I don't know if y'all are familiar with artist by the name of J Balvin. I wasn't familiar with it, but the concept of this is crazy. J Balvin music video quietly removed from YouTube amid backlash for his depiction of black women.
Mm.
J Balvin and Takesha's song Para featured lyrics about dogs in heat, and the music video was criticized for showing the Colombian singer with two black women on leashes.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Oh, you pulling a Tony Sotomayor.
I can't even.
Oh,
I
you
can't
want
even
to do
say
that?
nothing.
Oh, you trying to
Yeah,
do that? Oh, you want to do that? Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, okay, sir.
I just can't do nothing.
Well, hold on. But really,
And
it's like this too, though. You
mhm,
got two black women on leashes.
right,
They are pretty much by his side. No matter what they got paid for, they agreed with the concept. Them two
but
agree with the concept.
right,
Them two.
and
Interesting. Very
yeah,
interesting.
that's crazy.
Very interesting.
That's
Huh.
crazy. And the rapper Takesha, Colombians, yeah, whatever. She also poses in the doghouse. This is all about dogs in heat. This is the lyrics. It's talking about dogs in heat.
Hmm.
mm,
So we already got a fight enough as it is between masculine toxicity and now feminine toxicity.
That's
And
crazy to me.
you're just adding on to the bush. Now we
Mhm.
got just adding on to a fight that shouldn't even be there to begin with.
Right.
So they better not ever, she better not ever, ever
Ever.
pull it. She's ever pull it. She better not ever pull a Stacey Dash. She better not ever pull a Stacey Dash. You
mm.
gone.
If that
You
girl didn't have no hair.
you
But you know
so
something. Speaking of Stacey Dash, I decided not to do that article, but they I guess she came back to the black community apologizing, and the black community like, well, what a black Twitter is like, man, we ain't feeling you. We
Like
ain't
be
feeling you.
getting
you late, girl, too late.
you gotta
Yeah.
nah
And I
yo
decided not to pull that article because they bring that article in because Stacey, let me just say there's nothing wrong with being conservative. Sometimes I'm conservative. I go back and forth, and I just feel like you ain't got to be no fool about it. You don't have to bring your views to the public like that and be no fool about it. But she actually turned into a crazy person for a little while there. And the black community is just not forgiving that. So, I mean, to each his own. What
you're a
y'all
fool.
feel?
I feel like you're a fool to decide that you are one sided. You're a fool
Yeah.
because you're a liberal, you're conservatives, you're an ist. It's
Hmm.
not just one or two or three. There's several. There's so many. There's an infinite aspect. There's an infinite view on life and things and how things should be ran.
Right.
It's like this thing or these things about this side or that side, building up the mindset of division. We dealt with it with race, we dealt with the religion, we're dealing with it with the vaccinated and unvaccinated, and you're furthering the same bullshit. Like division, that culture itself, that's what ripped people apart. That's what ripped nations apart. That's what ripped cultures and families apart. These divisions.
Divide and conquer.
They're doing a damn good job of it too. And as a matter of fact, it's not them that's doing a damn good job of it. It's the fools that's doing the job for them. That's the issue. It's the fools falling. It's the fools knowing that the outcome.
When you don't know that there was a plan to divide and conquer and to keep you from being in the know, or to keep you living in fear. When you don't know it, then the plan works. If you do know it, then the plan doesn't work.
Even if you don't know the plan, even if you don't know the plan, just have common sense. Just use your essence. Like certain should like wake you up. Like, wait a second, take the time out to analyze.
Why is that movie?
Why is this going on?
School days. Wake up!
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Nah, but you know what?
Yes.
Even that, rats, fraternities, sororities, the sense of division.
Nah, but we just had oh man, I just lost the train of thought. But we had a conversation about oh man, what was it? Like being like having knowledge and knowing when something's being done, and then you still choose not to do nothing about it, right? You know what I'm saying? People are set in their ways. People are very, very set in their ways, and it's hard to bring people out of it.
I mean,
for instance, and I'm not going to go any further than just from the surface of what I'm saying. For instance, if you're a PK or a preacher's kid, right, and then your father or your mom or whomever was raised and taught a certain structure, you as a kid, you go out, travel the world, you come back, your mind has been expanded. So when you go back and have dialogue with your preacher mother or your preacher father, and you all you do is ask questions to make them think. And when they can't provide the answer for you that's in the book or their source, they get mad at you and they argue with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have an answer and they can't. It's like, oh, well, you can get the hell out of my house if you want to talk like that. We don't really around here. You know what I mean?
But come to me with all of your concerns. You can talk to me.
Right.
You can talk to me.
Let me tell you what I think. What my view on that is when people we came here into in this life through these vessels. We live in these vessels, and until you learn who you are, we know that the soul continues to come here over, right? But the problem is that people never recognize. Some people never recognize who they are, so therefore they're very easily to manipulate and control, and they believe everything that they've been told by this entity, that entity, relative, the way that relatives did it, the way that friends did it. They never find themselves in the equation, because if you really think about it, there's so many things out there that just make no common sense, but people follow it because it was taught to them,
Afraid of being looked at.
And I got a shirt. I actually got a shirt that says "Common sense just ain't that common anymore."
Yes.
See the world has to be played, needs to be played in order for the continuation of this life thing.
Yes.
What was that movie, man? What was that movie with Bill Bellamy in there with Goldie the Mac? But he was talking about women.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about the world. But no,
How to be,
But you
how to
know
be a
what?
player? How to be a player?
how do we play it? Yeah. But it was one thing that I was trying to touch on with that topic.
Mhm.
We're talking about people being set in their ways. I think it was the matter of fact. I did a post on it. It was people were making fun of the young lady when she went to, was it Rihanna's party or Cardi B's party or something like that. What's that one lady's name? Lizzo or whatever.
Oh, uh-huh.
They were trying to do the comparison of, I guess, was it
Her
Rihanna's
and
picture
Rihanna.
and her
Yeah.
picture, and then it was like they were bashing her, and it was like, well, I've always said it, like, if at birth when you were born and you started your and you were shown nothing but BBWs, that would be your perception of beauty. If BBWs was glorified and made to be uh you know beautiful
Right.
and pretty in Hollywood's perception of beauty, that's all people would want. That's all people would glorify. And then
Right.
to come back now, you know what I'm saying? It's all you know. So when it's all you know, that's all you're gonna go by. And when somebody comes in and try to tell you something different, and cognitive dissonance kicks in, it challenges your original beliefs and thoughts, and you don't want to accept it.
Right.
Want,
Not being open
want,
to new information.
want. It's a
Yeah,
choice. No matter
yeah.
how much you were brought up as, you still have a choice to take a risk. Like, find out, get that knowledge, get exposed. Get yourself challenged. What's wrong with being
Mhm.
challenged?
They're
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
afraid to step out there and have that view that is different from the person standing next to them. I'm not afraid. I'm not the most popular in some circles because I go against the grain and say what I feel. Y'all know I will. I mean, because it
Mhm.
Yeah.
just makes no sense to me to not do it, you know? And
When you play
people,
devil's
they don't
advocate,
like that.
yeah, when you play devil's advocate, when you're not going with the flow,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because some people want yes men, and that I experienced that a
Right.
lot in the military. They tell you as long as you
Hmm.
young in the ranks and your rank don't matter, it's like, yeah, they keep doing that. Give me that vigor. Give me that passion. Right?
Run,
Hey,
run that football. Run that football, boy.
hey, but look,
Run that track, boy.
hey, but then when you get to a certain rank, right? You get to a certain rank where your rank can actually make change. It's like,
Mhm.
hey,
Hmm.
hey, hey, hold up. All that vigor and passion, that was just play talk. I need you to agree with me right now. I don't need you challenging nothing right now. Now, some
Right.
leaders, there are few, in my experience, there were few people that actually listened to everybody and took things into consideration before making a decision. Some of them just wanted you just, hey, for show, uh, I asked, thank you. That's it. You know what I mean? They don't want to take that,
Hmm.
man. But like in some cases, man, a lot of people do things for show, and then when you challenge that, when you challenge the norm, go against the grain, oh, you
Mhm.
got to go,
They
player.
don't like that. That's
You
right.
got to go,
You
player.
know what? And I'm looking at
Who is
the
calling all
chat.
this ruckus?
That's that's
Who is
that's
calling
that's
all this ruckus?
I
that's
was
that's
looking at
that's
the chat, and I believe that back when, maybe we might have been talking about Halle Berry, Charles Jefferson was saying, "Well, I guess you can say she was all in her feelings or whatever." So I'm guessing he's talking about Halle. But thanks for tuning in, Charles, and also Veronica's in the chat, and 411's in there too. So you're just hitting the people who are in the chat. Continue to chat with us and let us know what's going on. All right, back to y'all. I just want to acknowledge the folks in the chat real quick. And matter of fact,
Yeah.
also while I'm here too, let me put the link for Twitch in the comments. I'm on Twitch on both like my computers, but I want you all to kind of like check out Twitch a little bit and hit us over
okay.
there and kind of tune in over there so that we can get that Twitch going too. I'm really working to get that more active. So I keep trying it and putting stuff over there to get it active. All right. I got one more story before we go to the living room. One more. Robert De Niro. Okay. De Niro's estranged wife will not get half of the star's acting income. This is what a court rules, okay?
Okay.
The court, I know that's very different. Robert De Niro's wife, she isn't entitled to half of the money that the actor made in Hollywood and
Wow.
business ventures after the divorce. This is what an appeals court has ruled on Thursday. Hightower argued a 2004 prenuptial agreement that something popped up on my screen. Let me kill this. It just popped right up. Okay, that she struck with the 78-year-old Irishman star entitled her to half of his earnings from when they were together, claiming they are marital assets to be split evenly. But
Okay.
the appellate division rejected Hightower's arguments, upholding a lower court's ruling from February. The husband's income earned during the marriage and other business acquired during that time are his separate property, reads
Mm-hmm.
the appellate court decision. What do
Mm-hmm.
y'all feel about
I,
that?
I feel the same way because I remember hearing wasn't he married to an American woman? Um,
Yeah, she's a black woman.
yeah, that sound like some shady stuff went down. She's been by his side for a good while, and
Mm-hmm.
so for her not to get anything,
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what court and what strings did he pull to finagle the paperwork and the wording. Um, because
Right,
it sounded like more than just she didn't read the fine print. It sounded like
right.
we switched the paperwork and made you drunk and you signed something else other than what you thought you were signing.
Mm.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
that
That's
should that
that's
should be split with her or a certain percentage, if not half, at least a certain percentage. But that's not even
Yeah,
sounding right.
that's
That thing, everything, you know,
mhm.
uh, it's just it is. Yes, he did the movies and extra work, but I'm sure she was behind the scene doing some stuff on his behalf as well.
I can
If
see
how
that.
many years were they together?
I can see that. I can
Yeah.
definitely see that. If you build a man up, I can see that. You have your business
I
prior
got something to say on that too.
prior or before, and you ventured
Uh-huh.
out in these businesses. She helped to maintain, so she played her part in terms of being his peace of mind, which allowed him to partake or to go into these business ventures. Um, to me, as a decent human being, now, now my question is actually with that: why did they get divorced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main
Let me
question
see if
for
there's
me.
let me see if there's anything in here.
Because you can be
Yes.
you can be a decent person, but if you're divorced over some bullshit, you know what I'm saying, that they did, no, you're not getting. No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. But it's like, but if it's like, okay, you agree to disagree. We're better off being friends with that kind of accord. All right, cool. You know, hey, I'm gonna break you off, or you know, that it should be rightfully so. Well, I won't say rightfully so, but as a person, a human being, as I guess I can only speak for myself. You've had my
Well, let
back
me
for
give
so
you a
many
little bit.
years. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me give you a little bit of what she's gonna gets out of here. I had a
Why
pop
did
up with music is in my ears, y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's uh this is crazy. Can you hear me only? Or okay, because I can hear the
Yeah.
music and other stuff. All right, it says that Hightower will still walk away with millions under the prenup, which says that they sell their $20 million home that they lived in together and put $6 million toward buying a home of her choice and she could live with the two kids.
mm-hmm.
And under the terms of the prenup, De Niro agreed to pay her $1 million a year in alimony until she remarries or one of them dies. I'm sorry, I still believe that she deserves more than that. But
We
he's
don't know though. We don't know
I
why
would
she
say
deserves. I don't know. We don't know why she should deserve anything. Like I said, why did they get divorced? That's the question. Why did they get
let me
divorced?
see. It doesn't. I didn't see anything about.
Because it's like
Uh,
there's too many extra holes in this
I
script.
don't.
Kenny
Yeah,
Holden.
I'm gonna get off this article because it keeps playing. It's playing music in my ear. You know how some websites they wanna entertain you while you're there, and I'm having these pop-ups putting this music in my ear. It is too much. Okay, but the only thing I can say is this: is
It's
that
vague. It's very vague.
again, it's one of those things with Alec Baldwin, that list. Well, he's on that list too. So you
Uh,
never know how these people are going to be going up in flames on their
Layer
way
and
out.
like come to find out this person, that all these people been idolizing. Oh, the church of this person or the website of this
Right,
person, like worshiping these same people that have been victimizing other people. It's like nowadays, oh, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise.
right,
It's not a surprise. I mean, hell,
exactly.
you thinking our
Which,
babysitters gonna take care of us, then our babysitters take care of us.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Ah,
no surprises
well,
there.
y'all, well, it's
Mm.
time to move to the living room. Charles Jefferson says, "Good evening, everyone," and he's
Evening.
enjoying the show.
Hey, John.
So, yeah, and Michael's so mellow right now. It's
Now
just, but we're gonna,
I
Thank
got
you. Just
some stuff
thinking.
going on, some personal stuff going on with family. So I'm just trying to
okay,
Balance. I feel you.
yeah, I'm trying to balance, you know what I'm saying? So
Uh,
right.
life don't stop just cuz cuz
thank you, man. Thank
we
you.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We live in the living room.
Hey, I didn't say life stop. Stop. I got a life too, but Tanya knows how to
No,
walk and chew
that
at the same
wasn't a dig,
time.
that wasn't a jab. That was just me saying, like life don't stop,
Okay.
because no matter what we do in our artistic expression,
Right.
we know that art imitates life. Ah!
Exactly. I mean, because I have a lot myself, but I learn how to maneuver. Y'all don't know how in the middle of this show, I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
In the middle of
but
this show.
yeah, but
Yeah, you are.
some of the news you get, you be like, God, what, huh? What?
Yeah,
And you
because I
think,
am going right with y'all. I am learning some stuff right with y'all in the midst of it. Because sometimes
right,
my week is so crazy, I don't get a chance to go through very deeply on some of
right,
these articles. I get this stuff on my phone all day long. I'm like, oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. And I read. But I can't read everything because your time is just like that.
Yeah.
You don't
uh-huh,
have the
Right.
time, you
right.
know.
And then
All right.
trying to get that balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That old
Yes.
scale, that
So,
old
so Mike,
scale.
let me ask you this. You speak of balance. So are you still trying to find a balance in life despite your age? Does that still correlate or does that
Hell, that mean
still
talking about despite my age. I don't know how to take that, Rick.
you oh,
Despite my
oh,
age. Yeah.
oh, hold on.
Look, you
So
can't be sensitive about your
so
age because
I'm
me
just saying
being
this no
older than
respect
everybody.
in general, knuckle
Damn.
face.
No,
In
what you say?
general,
Hold on.
knuckle face. In general. So like despite your age, and the comment mentioned earlier was people are set in their ways. It's
Yeah.
crazy how that term is mentioned, and that makes people believe that this is who they are and this is who they're going to be for the rest of their life, but they're still finding out ways of balancing their lives. So that comment, like as it's still going on, or it's still to me infecting people, you're set in your ways. I honestly do not believe that. Hence, you just said you're still trying to figure out a balance in life. And they say when you get a certain age, that's just who you are for the rest of your life. But that's like very contradictory to the fact that we still are trying to balance out things in our lives. Like when you get older, especially
Right.
like when you hit your 40s, you become when you're in your 40s. What Kim Cole call it, you in your get 40s. Like certain things don't matter anymore. You learn to
Right.
And so
differentiate.
you know it don't matter to me with my age. You know.
Nah, that's because I got my I hear what you're saying. I hear exactly what you're saying. So I have a theory from the time you're born, to the time you're like 18, or whenever they kick you out the house. I say from the time you're born to you're 19,
Mm-hmm.
you're still learning,
Right.
right? You're
Totally,
learning. You're
totally
you're
agree.
you're in your learning phases,
You're not done.
right? In your 20s, you are trying to
Figure it out.
apply and figure out what
Yeah.
you learned,
And you're still not done.
right? And that's in your 20s. In your 30s is when you get into the I got a handle on it. I ain't where I think I should be. So now I have to get answers, right? And it's the finger pointing thing. It's the I'm not where I want to be because of trauma and drama, and that's where you go and find answers. A lot of people, and this is just from my analysis, in their 30s, they start wanting to talk to mom, talk to dad to get certain questions, to get that information because they are in the midst of transforming. Once they get that information that they're seeking, or if they don't get it, they got 10 years to get it. And guess what happened in their 40s? Fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm 40. They didn't want to tell me.
I don't give a.
Yeah, all right, I gotta live my life. Right? I gotta live my life. Right?
Let's expound on that. Let's expound on that.
Let's roll with it, whatever.
Let's get to the living room. Let's expound on that.
Well, I'm going to say, if y'all, we're going to living room first, and then y'all get back to it. But because I really wanted to bring up to you, my friend told me before I had turned 40. My friend told me years ago. He was like, I'm going to tell you something right now, because I was in my 30s. I'm going to tell you something right now. He says, when you turn 40, you're going to start waking up with aches. You don't even understand where it came from. He was telling me about the change of everything in my life. And he said, stuff just going to start aching. You don't even know why. And I was like, damn it. Because it did kind of happen.
It's
halftime. At halftime.
Yeah. I went to stretch and pull the whole damn muscle. Yeah, I'm kind of shit going on here.
All right, you get up in the morning. Okay. You stretching? Is that my pancreas? What?
Yeah, don't go to sneezing. Just sneezing and be like, wait a minute. Did I piss you?
I'm thinking, look here, and I'm gonna put this out here.
Don't sneeze.
Player. I almost told her myself, but I want to get real. But I'm at the age.
Yeah, you at the age where you sneeze, piss, shit, and fart at the same time.
Hold on, Mike, and you think
don't sneeze the coffee card.
Mike, you think you got a bubble? You think you got a bubble coming out, but it's really an imposter.
Yeah.
You started.
Y'all, let's go to the living room. We're going to the living room. We're going now. We're going to the living room. I see y'all over there in a minute. That's the move that I just want to just keep playing. That's what I keep playing.
Who is doing these beats? Who did this beat?
Actually, that one there is by Smith the Mister. Smith the Mister. That was a cool beat.
Thank you, Derry.
Boy. Right, shout out. Well, what's his name?
Smith the Mister.
Smith the Mister.
It's called Beach Buggy. Beach Buggy.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah, that's hot. Sir. That's a hot beat right there.
That hot. What? What?
Yeah, that was nice right there. That was nice. Hey. Oh, but you know what? I am. Let's see. I'm trying to see what I've had going on over here. Well, you know what? The living room. The topic tonight: loyalty. Does your loyalty cause you to take things more? I said more personal. Some people said personally, but I was like, don't take it personal. The song, I just left it like that, like the song, you know. But so you can say personal or personally, either one. And this was a Michael topic, and I don't know if Michael's here with it because I see a frozen frame there. But whenever, he's pop locked. And so, but no. So wait a minute. I'll try to get his frame. So whenever he gets back, he can tell us his reasoning.
I'm here. What you talking about? My thing.
Your piece is frozen. Your screen is frozen.
Right. Man, all that.
Yeah. That's how you frozen there. Yeah, you frozen.
I'm still froze.
Yeah, but it'll come back. It'll come back.
You just look relaxed and cool. You chilling.
You ain't froze. You posed.
He posed. But I do want to know. Michael had sent me this, and it actually was a meme, and I'm going to read the actual meme. I didn't want to put that as the topic, the actual meme, but the meme was loyal people take shit more personal because they never would have done that shit to you.
And I
And
got
I
that
thought,
meme. I got that meme from PT.
PT.
Y'all remember Tomlin? You remember the
Oh yeah,
yeah, the other half of Turn 'Em Loose. So
right.
he sent that to me, and because we was having a conversation about um, childhood friends.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or just people that you consider friends. And I always tell him about some of my experiences, and so he kind of told me about some of the things from his past, and we were sharing stories. And I guess you know how the universe worked. We was talking about it one day, and then the next day, wherever that meme came from, it just popped up, and then he sent, and it was like, "Yo, like this is exactly what we was talking about." It was like, right? I don't
Right,
know where it came from, but somebody somewhere heard us talking, and then the meme popped up.
right.
So, and that's where it come from. It's part of the conversation we was having is, you know, you hear a lot of people say, we're the last of a dying breed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on what generation you are, right? I'm an 80s baby. So I kind of feel like the 70s and the 80s babies, whatever genre, whatever generation that is,
Mm.
um, I feel like those were the last folks that learned from Big Mama and them and my dear and them and
Yeah.
Grandpa and them,
Yeah.
Pop, and
Yeah.
that's why we are the way we are, because we got the best of both worlds, old school,
Right.
and then we crossed over into the computer age, technology age. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
we're that bridge gap filler, if that makes any sense.
Uh-huh.
So we're built a little bit different, and we're loyal, right? Like we're
Hmm.
loyal people, and we care. Not that for everybody, but for most of the folks, birds of a feather flock together. So when you think about who you're friends with, you know what I'm saying, and who you close to, and what y'all
Hmm.
stand for, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We're similar in a lot of ways. So
Hmm.
you're loyal. You're very loyal. Sometimes too damn loyal. And so what people say, you're loyal to a fault. Is that the saying?
Guilty. Guilty.
Right?
Guilty.
That's me.
And so that's what we came.
Hmm.
And long story short, it came from that, and we just had experiences where we're so loyal to our folks that it ends up biting us in the ass in the end. You know what I'm saying?
We
And
didn't
we've
even
had
learn.
experiences like that, and then you learn
Hmm.
from those and you
Right.
move forward.
Mm.
Right.
And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I
the
got
saying
you.
goes. Like the saying goes, we're all teachers, we're all lessons, and we're all students.
Right.
And so, yeah, I back you on that for sure. I back you on that for sure. Loyalty, the aspect of loyalty is very, very different. It's like they're remixing
Do you
what
think that?
loyalty is. Go ahead.
Well, do you think that when it comes to loyalty, and here's my issue. I think that people have far different definitions of what they consider loyalty
That's what I was just
and
saying.
their loyalty
Yeah.
to you. Yeah. And I think that there's a problem if you're not on that same page, you know. I'm sorry to hear Rick. I'll be all over the place over here, and I think that's some of the issue that I can see even in my own relationships. Um, because I am one of those that's loyal to a fault, and to watch even your friend not be loyal back to you,
Huh?
and I'm the one who gets that. I'm the one who gets that treatment because of the kind of loyalty that I have. If you call me a friend and I consider you to be my friend, I am loyal back to you, but it doesn't always translate well, and I always don't get the same type of. I don't get back what I put out there. So how do you
Uh,
handle those situations? Because I
Well,
don't get back a lot of times what I put out there.
I mean, some people's like it's like with me, if you're loyal to them, to a certain degree,
Mhm.
whatever. Um, they're loyal to you to a certain point, up until their ulterior motives come into play. You don't do or you don't act, or you don't do what they do, their true intentions basically come out. Their true intentions actually show, which challenges what your loyalty is.
Right.
Being loyal by default, yeah, we're friends, this and that third, but then it actually, who they are really, really shows and comes out. It may have been seeping out slowly, and you didn't catch on to it, because sometimes it's like we're in denial, like, they wouldn't do that to me. They wouldn't do that to me. It keeps showing over and over and over. Wait a second, this mother, oh, for real? Oh, this is what we're doing? Loyalty, yeah, like the definition itself been remixed, especially nowadays.
Read it, Rick. Read the definition, Rick. Read the definition.
I'm gonna have to pull it up. Shoot.
Pull it up.
Your phone is faster than mine. All y'all's phones is faster than my Commodore PIC 20 phone. Michael, go ahead.
What you want the definition of?
Loyalty.
Oh, loyalty. Let me pull that up for you real quick. I can pull that up for you real quick.
Are we using Merriam-Webster? Or are we using Oxford?
You know what? I'm gonna do whichever one comes up.
Let's see what Webster says, since he knows it all. Rick, shut up.
Merriam-Webster. He didn't do it by himself. It's Merriam-Webster.
Hey, learn something new.
You know what? I'm not doing either one of them. I'm doing the Urban Dictionary.
Oh Lord.
That's what I'm saying. Like the remix.
The hood
definition right here. It says making something for someone a priority.
Won't stop.
Come on now.
Okay, here, look.
Making something to someone a priority, and in doing so in small and discreet but meaningful ways.
Okay. That sounds consistent.
Say that one more time. Say it one more time for the people in the back. For us old folk. Go ahead, say it one more time.
Okay. Making something or someone a priority and doing so in small and discreet but meaningful ways. That's number one. Number two is staying true to someone or something even when other things call attention. And number three, a way of showing support for a person or thing.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent.
So
I can dig that.
So when you listen to them definitions, I think the definition itself has its own meaning based off of Merriam-Webster's, Oxford, and whatever. I think we urbanized it and we took loyalty for what its meaning is, and we urbanized it. We made it part of the street code.
Yeah.
Right.
And now one's loyalty is compared to, your gangsterism. You know what I'm saying?
So the street made it a part of the street code.
Now, however, understand this. I got the technical definition, and I know what loyal is based off how I was raised, and I kind of still stand firm on that as a black man.
As a ninja, huh?
You know what I'm saying? And when you think of and I say that because a lot of times at least for me, we look at it as my partners, my homeboys or whatever, my folks, my friends, those who I consider close, but it's in my circle. Let's just say that's in my circle. And it's like, man, I'll ride for you, homie. I'll die for you, homie. Right out. You know what I mean? All of that, right? So I'll do whatever for my partner because we done, we've been in the trenches together. We done did dirt together. We done came up out of it and we still here. I starve, you starve. I eat, you eat kind of thing. And then for somebody to turn around and do a 180, not a 360, but a 180 and totally flip on you, right? And do the opposite of what y'all stand for or stood for, because obviously it ain't the same no more. It's a slap in the face. Like you said earlier, you don't feel like it's reciprocated.
It's not.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's a violation. And I say people say it's a violation. It's hurt. That's what it is.
Right.
We call it everything else. We call it everything else. You know what I'm saying? We call it everything else, but what it's supposed to be, it's hurt.
Say it right, Mike. Say it right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? and because that hurts you, like, man, and that's the only reason you get mad. That's the only reason you
Right.
upset, and that's where hate or dislike or disdain comes from. You know what I'm saying? Because it affected you emotionally, but we're not
Mhm.
taught to be like, it's at least most men are not taught, emotional, intelligence or
Nowadays,
acceptance.
nowadays.
Yeah. So, and
Mhm.
I have
I'll
some
stop.
tips.
I'm gonna stop right
Well,
there
I have
because
some tips
I'll
at the
go
end
on
of
and go
this
on.
because
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. And I'm going to have some tips at the end of this because that's how we do it anyway. But I totally agree. Why I just have that question, and we're kind of touching upon it. The whole thing, that reciprocity, and that's the thing that just bothers me the most. But I think what I need to do more, I need to do a better job of determining who the people are that I want to be loyal, in which I want to be loyal. I need to do a better job with that because I think sometimes I choose wrong.
So then,
So, go ahead,
and
Rick. Go ahead.
that's beautiful because, like, going back to what I was saying, like people being set in their ways, you're still willing to challenge yourself. You're still willing to challenge yourself, and then in terms of loyalty or whatever the subject matter is, or whatever an issue is, you're still willing to challenge yourself. Go ahead, Mike.
So, based off of what you said, then I'm gonna try to remember what I said. Man, I be having so much stuff going on. So there's a commercial that I see, and I don't know if it's, what is it, S SBBH or some HU or something, some commercial that they have.
Hmm.
University, because I can't quote it. I don't know who made the quote, but the guy says, uh talent talent may be, across the board. People may have equal talent across the board, but the opportunities are not the same,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Right,
They,
right, right,
some
right, right, right.
that echo, is that me?
Yeah, I hear this. There is a definite echo. It's a speaker. It's somebody's speaker is a little too loud. Yeah,
All
so
right,
that's all
so
it is.
it's like talent could be even or equal, but the
Hmm.
opportunity is not, right? So in regards to what Rick was just saying, is like, um some people, their experiences may not be, they may not be afforded those opportunities to travel or expand or go other places to where they were able to pick up or learn those things. Their experience is not the same, and they don't necessarily have to travel to do it. They just might not have experienced certain things, and they might not have gotten there yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's not it's not a dig or to disagree with you. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, man, like, I'm analyzing myself. Like, am I really judging somebody for not having the same experiences that I did? I
I
just say,
think that for
you know
me,
what I
and I
mean?
can honestly say this about myself,
Yeah.
maybe my situation is that, being a loyal person, and I don't know if Margo, you this way too. I'm a Libra. We're kind of loyal, in my opinion. Because we like that balance. And so, therefore, when I choose those who I am loyal to, maybe I just have an expectation that, and maybe a little unrealistic, in my expectation that they would be the same kind of loyal back to me. But I actually have watched a few people who I had considered myself as being loyal to, and I thought they were loyal back. But then I had to watch their movement. This is when you have to try to pay attention and hear what people say, because when you listen to a person talk and you hear that they're not loyal to other people, then you got to know that they're not going to be loyal to you too. And I have gotten in trouble myself with that by not paying attention to what was actually there. That's how I got into trouble. I heard the person saying the things that how they would deal with other people. I'm talking about two people now, and I heard another person just kind of like speaking about different people, but stepping outside of each circle. So when you hear a person talking, you kind of can gather, if you're really listening, that that person may not be as loyal. And I think that I have misjudged and given loyalty in places where I should not have. I think that's my
they
issue.
they had a whole campaign on social media about some red flags. That your ass just missed the red flags.
I missed
Uh-uh.
it.
But you know
I
what?
missed.
The question is, did you miss it, or did you accept?
Or did you say, did I say that again?
Did you miss the red flags or did you accept it?
You know, sometimes I am like on a page where I see something and you're not ready to address it,
Oh, you
but
just
it's
kind
right
of
there. Yeah,
pushed it off, or kind of ignored it a little bit. And I
yes.
mean, I've definitely gotten to the point to start seeing that with some people that I know or close to or loyal to. And there was one or two times I've addressed something because I operate differently. It's like, we're cool, we're close, we got each other's back. I mean, I'm running you to the hospital or you coming to check on me when I'm super sick or certain things. I mean, loyal to the T for those serious moments too. But it was one or two incidents where something was done differently, and I had to bring myself to a place or space and be like, I can't be quiet about this. Let me go and pull them to the side and say, hey, you know, we cool, we've been on the same page, but this one area is a little different and I operate different. I was like, you know me well enough to know that I operate different. And so let me handle that in my own time in the way that I like to versus how you handle it, because I don't know what got lost in translation right there. But
Hey,
it was
so
like a overpowering of the conversation. And I'm like, hold up. That ain't how I do this. Let me, handle it. And I was like, you took over my conversation and I didn't get to get out everything I needed to say. But I say,
Right.
please see that. Please understand that. And they was like, you know what, you're right. I apologize that. And I'm like, that wasn't the moment for that. That needed to happen on your time, on another time that's outside of my time. So
the
I
time
I
is over the construct. I'm messing with you. I'm totally messing with you.
I'm like, huh?
No,
Like,
no,
oh.
no. I'm messing with you.
But it's just like, it's like at that moment, one little thing changed, and I was like, "Where's this?" Like, hold up, we got to understand each other. We are individuals. We hang a lot. We are individuals. We're loyal to one another. But that was one little area that I've noticed, and I'm just like, well, maybe because what's going on in their life, is altering their perception of things, as well as, what could be going on in my situation or my life right now could be altering things. So it's
Right.
like, let's back up, let's slow this down, and let's, look at everything and get a better understanding. But
self self reflection and accountability. What I wanted to say, because a lot of what I'm saying came from deep conversations, personal conversations, and just trying to help each other grow between me and Tom. So I can't sit here and make this seem like it's all me. I actually, I'm citing my source basically. One of the things that Tom told me, and it stuck with me from the first time he told me when we were stationed in Korea in 2015. Because I'm very passionate and I'm very emotional. When it come to work and flipping out and taking up for my folks and all of my people, because I'm loyal, I'm Papa Bear and all that stuff. Well, I was. I'm retired
You
now.
still are. You still are.
Yeah, I still am. I'm just saying as far as retired. But what he said, man, he said, "Hey, bro, this is the realest shit he ever told me." He said, "You're expecting people to be you or be like
That's the
you."
problem.
well, true,
Right.
I can
So he
see that.
said, and he said that's why you so mad. He said that's why you so angry. That's why you get so whatever. Is he saying you're putting so much of yourself
Expectancy.
into these projects or these people or the job, and because you're not getting the reciprocity, uh,
Reciprocity.
If you ain't getting all that spit on my glasses,
Reciprocity.
man, shit, let me wipe my glasses
yeah,
up.
I've always had trouble with that word, right?
You being sweet.
But he said,
Reciprocity.
you know what I'm saying? But he said because of that, that's what's got you feel you like you feel. He said you feel hurt. That's where we getting it from. He said you feel hurt, you feel offended. right? And he said you're expecting them to be you. They not you. They didn't ask you to be loyal to them. They didn't ask you to put that effort in there, right? They
Bro.
didn't ask you for whatever. They didn't ask you that.
Now
So why you expecting that from them?
there it is. That
Right.
sense of expectancy. You
You know what
give,
I'm saying?
give, and you expect to receive it back. That's
Yeah.
our problem. Like
You know what
I
I'm
said,
saying?
that's a problem. That's our problem.
Yeah.
We give what we give, and then expect to get it in return, and then we get upset. But the only person that we should be upset with is whom?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Isaiah.
I think for me, I don't necessarily be mad. It's more of a I'm kind of disappointed because I held you up here, but then you did this. And it's not that you want to always constantly prejudge, but it's like, okay, we moved down just a little bit, but like, help me to
watch this. What if they came back and said, I didn't ask you to put me on no pedestal. I didn't ask you to elevate me or raise me.
It's just how you feel about that person.
No, I get it, but if they were to ever, if that information were to ever get out and it was disclosed, and they be like, well, I didn't ask you to put me on no pedestal.
Well, that's ungrateful as selfish as I mean,
right.
you sit here, you know, you got enough grown person sense. You're conscious enough.
Not to, yeah.
You're conscious enough to do something good, and you're conscious enough to fuck up, but you can analyze and see the goodness that somebody's bringing to your life. So that lets me know it's like, hell, you don't even have the nerve to even automatically have a thank you come out of your mouth.
Or you want that? Do you want that? You wanted that out of me, but I can't get that out of you. Like
that type,
right?
Yeah.
So as long as I was giving, you were taking, and now it's time for you to
like I need yes, reciprocate. Like I need this, and it's not even like asking you like give me your firstborn child. Let me see if I can sacrifice. It ain't none of that. It's just
I'm not asking for no kidney.
Yeah, it's not, but it's just like just the decency and the respect, and because I'm gonna put that out there for you. You should
hold on, I think we walking on each other. Go ahead, Margo, finish up. Yeah. Well,
but
continue.
That's
I'm not gonna say finish up. Continue. I'm sorry.
That's the most that you should ask from your real friends, even though your group and your circle is small, and you ain't got but a few real friends that's in that circle that's loyal.
And you shouldn't have to ask.
Yeah, no. Those that know you well will pick up on that though. Actually, so you won't.
It's like the weed be letting you know.
Volunteer.
Evil lurks. It's like the weed be letting you know. Evil lurks.
Oh Lord.
Hold it there. Go ahead, love.
But yeah, I mean, it's like you. For myself, I got one. Well, say two truest friends. It's God and my homegirl, to where I got a key to a place if I need it. If I need a space to get away just to clear my head, she's like, I got you. Here's my key. He's like, here's my code to my phone, all that stuff. If something ever happened to me, blah, blah, blah. And so we do that for each other. But regardless of that, loyalty is a big thing. Because you don't let that many people in, and you're not that loyal to everybody.
Yeah. And and because somebody said it, I can't remember who said it. I don't know if I read it or somebody said it. Oh, I like that. Read it or said it. Anyway.
Now you got a song for it. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be writing, man. I'll be writing.
I'm about to say that. Put on your notepad. Go ahead, brother.
No, man. Damn. See, I got me sidetracked on my thought, man. What was I saying? What were we talking about? Somebody just said something. Help me, bring me back.
Loyalty. Not that many people are let in, and you're not that loyal to everybody.
You don't have to be. And you don't have to be.
No, you don't. Keep talking. I'll get it back. I'll bring it back. It'll come back.
Well, you know what? Now that I've come back in here, I wanted to go over this article and start feeding in some information, because this particular article It is what causes you to take things personally and how to stop. And this is on the website thrivinginadmin.com, Dr. Audrey
Mm-hmm.
Rao. And
Man,
this is an interesting article here. Now, the first thing that's on here made me think about Rick, because I wanted to throttle Rick when he said this to me one time. He was like, "It's not about you." I don't know what we were talking about, but Rick said that, and I wanted to
my
throttle him.
voice wasn't not, and
Everything is
my voice was not
but
about
yeah,
representation.
your voice didn't do that, but you said everything is not about you,
Oh,
and
you
I
hated
was
it?
like,
You
I
hated it?
wanted to reach
You
right through the
had to
camera.
look over your shoulder, like I know you ain't talking to me. You're just like looking over your shoulder, like I know he can say it
Well, I
too.
don't want to tell anybody else. I don't want to tell anybody else about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
I don't know if you can see me grabbing around the near neck right now, but that's how I
Hey,
felt
hey,
that particular
you can have
night.
all of it. All of it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even know what we were talking about, but it was that, and I think De Paul Masson was talking to you, and you were talking to me
And I was
that
listening to
particular
you.
night.
So,
I was listening to you.
But,
let me ask you a question. Because
okay.
when I think of it, right,
Uh-huh.
what is your? I mean, I know we did the definition of loyalty, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but what does loyalty consist of?
That depends on the person
for
too. That
for
depends on the
yeah,
Is it
that's what.
is it just doing things? Like, is it
Well,
just
you know
doing
what?
things for people,
Let me
or
tell
is
you what
it?
this article said, and that's right on
Oh,
point
okay,
for what
okay,
this
yeah, yeah.
it is. It was saying that you can ask 10 different individuals that same question, and you're going to get 10 different responses, and it's true because it goes according to the things that you pay attention to and the different things that create the meaning of the word for you based on your own interests and filters is what the article is actually saying,
Mm-hmm.
and it's saying in addition to that, people have emotional habits, meaning that those who are primarily angry find a reason to feel anger anywhere they go, and those who are frustrated find ways to experience even more frustration, and those who live in appreciation notice things that appreciate. It's just different things that go into that word. But what this article is saying is that please remember the next time you hear someone expressing criticism and all, don't immediately assume that they're attacking you or even blaming you at all. They are thinking of the way that they always think, or speaking the way they always speak, or reacting habitual ways, and what they say reflects who they are and not who you are. So it's not about you. So that's what they say on this particular thing, that sometimes the conflict and how to stop taking things personally is to realize that it's not always all about you.
Got one
So,
for you. Got one for
okay, go
you.
ahead.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me get the source.
I think
www.
Charles, I see Charles, you're saying good night to us. I'm sorry to read some of your other comments there. Uh, I just missed all that, but thank you for tuning in. He said he has to say good night.
Thank you,
Thank you
Charles.
for
Good
being
Okay.
night.
Thank you, Charles.
here.
Thank you. Hey, Charles, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all.
what a
Is
fool.
every time.
He crazy. Okay, you can
Hey,
say your point, Mike.
no. So this is because I'm giving the people, what is it? www.inc.com.
Uh-huh.
But this, I think they have a good perception on why. I think to kind of answer some of the questions we've been asking back and forth. It says why loyalty is important in our personal lives. It says loyalty is valuable, and this is what's highlighted, because it allows us to take the risk of predicting the actions and behavior of people we trust.
Mm.
Right.
I
I
mean,
get that.
when I read that, I just
Yes.
read that.
That's expectancy to me.
It
That's
is
expectancy.
because you're predicting that, and prediction is is not factual, it's the unknown. You're
Mm.
taking a wild ass
Mhm.
guess, right?
Okay.
But that's why, because we think we know, but yet we do not. And we're no, hold on, no, but no, that's what it is. Is I've invested
Uh-huh.
so much of myself, time, effort, and energy, and probably money into this individual or into this group of people, and
Right.
I'm predicting or I'm guessing or I'm assuming
Assuming.
that they're going to do the same for me. And that's where Tom's
Right.
statement came in. You're expecting them to be you. They're not you.
And I get that
Yeah. Sorry
wholeheartedly. I get
to
that.
take away from the article thing that you read, but
Oh
it's
no,
just
you're fine.
I guess
If I
reading that made it make a little bit more sense. I guess just one
Mhm.
simple word, predicting instead of
Well, I
assuming.
have the tips on how to stop taking things personally from the article, and I just want to get into that, and we can just kind
Please
of bounce
share.
back and forth on your thoughts. Okay,
Yeah, share those tips.
okay. All right, sure. Number one is set clear and measurable standards for yourself. Meet your standards, keep yourself accountable, and you will no longer be haunted by the not enough voice. You will
Mm,
know what it takes to be enough or do enough, and people's
That's
comments will no longer trigger you.
yeah,
mm,
that's kind of what Margo was talking about when she was saying she had to take a look at herself, self-reflection and
Right?
accountability. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody probably seen that one lady take accountability for her actions in her relationship with her man. Did y'all see that?
mm.
It was on
Was she?
social media. It was a young lady saying that she had to take accountability because she had ruined her relationship with the man that she had.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't
It
see
was like a
that.
TikTok video or something. I don't know what the hell it was. I
So
be
now
looking on,
there's millions of them.
That was
Billions of
honesty and a big
but
step
it
on the hubby.
but it
It's like,
but it was a but it was a so I think what shocked everybody. I'm sorry to get off track, but it was basically accountability, self accountability, and reflection. But the young lady, because it came from a sister, she was like, I had to take accountability for myself because I had a decent man, and I was doing my thing.
them.
And then she
oh
said,
yeah, I did see
and
that. I know what
and
you're
then
talking
she
about.
basically was saying that I, all I'm saying is the way that lady did that, and this is not a man or woman thing, this is a human being thing. That's one
Mm-hmm.
of the hardest things that people to do. So when they say that the truth hurts, that's because it's making you look within and be honest with yourself. Bless you, puppy dog,
I
or whoever say,
know.
right?
This is her. That's
So
him. That's him.
it's forcing you to look within yourself and then be honest and truthful with yourself. That's why they say truth hurts. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So when I went through the whole resiliency
Right.
class and course, a lot of it was in order for you to teach this stuff, you have to
Uh-huh.
personify it. So they did a lot of self-reflecting and accountability type exercises with us. And in order
Mhm.
for you to gain the most from the material being presented, you,
Mhm.
you literally had to participate. And when I did that, uh, that's kind of what sparked the change in me. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
And you
And I
Right.
shared
went through,
For
shared
you
that with
to for
you
you
shared
to
that with me. You shared that with me, and I thank you for that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
will not thank you
you
Mhm.
enough.
to you
Go
to
ahead.
do it, you have to have been through it.
Ex-
Hmm.
For you to do it,
In
you
order
have to
to
have
have
been
a
through
in order to have a testimony, you must first have
it.
a
Be
test.
tested. You must be tested.
See,
Mm.
Yeah.
You
T
must
E.
be
Let's
tested.
let's let's spell out testimony. TESTIMONY. This is a test that I'm on,
Mm,
and why?
You said this before. You
mhm.
said this. Preach, preach,
And then
preach.
I like Michael's freeze frame there. I like Michael's freeze
Yeah.
frame. Go ahead.
Somebody,
Ah,
Go
somebody
ahead.
screenshot this. Hold on. Let
Yeah,
me.
indeed.
yeah.
I gotta
I'm gonna
Indeed.
get
screenshot
it
this
too.
before it goes away.
Matter of fact, let me get that screenshot.
Screenshot
Oh
it.
yes,
Why am I
got it.
freezing though? I got good
I
connection.
know.
I got full bars,
Screenshot.
good connection.
Yes.
It's too
Or
late
you
for me.
predicted or thought you had good connection.
Oh, smart ass.
See, hey, brother,
Hey,
brother,
we all got brains on this show. We all got
Hey,
brains.
you dare? You're right. You're right. You're
brother,
right.
brother,
I mean, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I wasn't throwing jabs.
brother, don't spew on the colloquialism from the
Uh,
Oh,
systematic
y'all are too
view
much.
of the crux
right.
of the venereal
So
infection.
yeah. So
What?
yeah.
Come on.
He making up shit. You know what I'm saying?
In his
He
best
thought he found it.
Right.
sharp tip
So
voice.
So Tanya, that was one
Yeah,
of
so
the
we go to
things.
the second one.
Yeah.
The second one is to develop compassion for yourself. Once you
Mm,
have set high
Mm,
standards and met them more often than not, accept the fact that doing your best varies from time to time and you can't be perfect at all times. Give yourself more appreciation. Give
mm,
more attention to what you are doing right than what you're doing wrong.
That's right there. I almost cursed. That right there.
It's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
that's
real,
what we need to be doing. It's kind of hard, but that's what we need to be doing. True.
because it's
Yeah.
like you're being challenged on a day-to-day basis. Well, like
Right.
myself. Well, I can say just people in general. Just being a parent or being a husband. The things that resonate in my head, and actually a friend of ours or a schoolmate of ours, he said the same thing. Am I doing well enough? Am I good enough? Am I doing a good job? You know, these questions that come in your head, because for the most part, well, I can only speak for men, more so black men, you know, we're not shared our accolades. We're not shared shared with the thank yous. I appreciate what you do for me. You know, hang in there. I see what you're doing, and I know where you're going with this, and I appreciate that. You know, along the way.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
Then I was about to tell you this, right? So this just recently happened to me, and I guess I've been in the man box. Even though I teach getting out of the man box, it still made me feel some kind of way. And if he wasn't family, I don't know if I would have accepted it the same. My cousin came and hollered at me, and we grew up together. So when he talked to me, and I guess he looks up to me. So when we talk person to person, face to face, he'll look me dead in my eye, and he'll look into the windows of my soul and be like, "I love you, bro." And I'm like,
Oh,
"I love you too." Like it feel
It's kind of weird. It's kind of
felt
weird.
weird.
it's a weird feeling, right? Now
Yeah.
Right.
it shouldn't be a weird feeling.
It's an unfamiliar
Uh-huh.
feeling. It's unfamiliar.
Right, and right. So
It should be happening.
so as if another man that respects you, right, and that looks up to you, or you taught them something, they taught you something, and they look at you as family, and they be like, "Hey man, I love you, bro." It's hard for people to say, "I love you too, bro," or whatever. It's like, yeah, one love, peace out. It's like being on the phone. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I still got a problem with this today. Bet not no damn grown man tell me bye-bye on no damn phone. You hear me? Hell no. We not finna be like,
You tell a toddler that? Is that how you feel?
nah, look,
Bye-bye.
I said grown man. Look here.
I never heard anybody say that before.
Think about it. Hey, Rick. Hey, man. Hey, look, fam. Look, man. I gotta go. I gotta run real quick. All right, Mike. Hey, man. It's been nice talking to you. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye-bye. No, you're not gonna do that to me. No, we're not. You know what I'm saying? You better not.
We're just not. We're just not.
I'm telling you this now. You better not ever. You better not.
You better give them a phrase to say. What you want them to say? You better give them a phrase.
Hey, Rick, you better not ever double up on. You better not ever double up on your buys when you talk to me.
Chill out.
I'm sorry.
You better
I got off track.
Not even
I got off track.
Wrong ninja.
I got off track, but the whole, and I'm saying all of that to say
serious.
that, like, when you say like, "I love you, bro," so we confined in a man box, because that's what a man's taught. Shed no tears and show no fears. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Heart never open. Emotion is what he's coping. Come on, man. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for this. And that's a poem called "The Plan." Y'all ain't ready for that. But
I probably wrote it, bro.
What you talking about? I like.
But no, I'm sorry to get off track. But all I'm saying is, for some of the things that we're talking about, even though we're talking about loyalty, you know what I'm saying, right. And then we start looking into who we are. And I like I said, I can only speak, from I guess my sense of loyalty comes from, I guess, that of my homies, right? My
Right.
homeboys or you know my
I'm still
folks.
laughing about that whole about thing. I'm sorry.
No,
Your constituents.
right. You know what I'm saying? But loyalty expands over into a lot of things. So when you look it up online, when you say the importance of loyalty or why is loyalty important, the first thing it goes to is relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the
It
first thing. But I
does.
mean,
It
relationships could
does.
be anything, but they're talking more of, man woman thing.
But it's
So,
crazy.
Right.
It's crazy how it
and
goes
we
to.
haven't even really touched on that.
But it's crazy how it goes to like exteriors, but it never starts with ourselves in terms of loyalty. It always starts with everybody else, but not from within first, as it should be.
Right.
Right.
As it should
Well,
be.
let me go on to number 3. Face your fears and keep growing. If you've been avoiding something uncomfortable, that thing you're hiding from controls you. And the only way to free from fear and regret is to face what scares you. Take one small step, then another, then another. Build new skills and competencies.
From within. From
Yeah.
within. That's
We're
real.
going to go ahead and jump on number 4 while we're here. In challenging situations, remember not to make things about you. Expand your perspective. Look at what is happening from someone else's vantage point. Ask yourself, what else could this mean, or what needs to happen to fix this problem? And that's what I was saying earlier when it comes to my issues with loyalty, is that I guess I wasn't looking at it from their vantage point. Maybe I was more loyal to them. I had decided to be more loyal to them than they had decided to be to me. And that can be a problem.
Mm,
And that therein lies the issue
yeah.
Let me ask
for me.
this. Let me ask you
Mhm,
this one question.
mhm.
Because I hear that. And when I hear you say that, I start thinking of that. And I'm finna say, she finna make me go back 40 some years. Well, let me stop lying. Uh, was 41 minus, I was
30.
4 years old, 30 some years, right?
Right on.
So, 30, basically, did you decide that or was that just who you were? Because
Well,
we are who we are. And decision may be a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's
But
just you're
we
right
are who
there
we
because
are.
right, because I think I'm just was built that way.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was built that way without any filters for a long time, where I was really harsh about that loyalty. I had to adjust over the years, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning even up to this year. I mean, present day, very, very recent friends that I had to decide that my loyalty may not, I may not have things in check, because I am more loyal to people sometimes because I keep my word. That's one thing. I am who I say I am, and some folks don't exactly get that because maybe they're not who they
Yeah.
say they are.
a lot of people get
So,
loyalty. Go ahead, love. Go ahead.
and then one more thing is that I had a friend tell me this, and I don't know if he listened or whatever, but he says that his love is conditional. So if a person's love is conditional, so is their loyalty. Okay, go ahead.
Mm.
Mm,
Um, that was good.
yeah.
I was gonna say like because I know a lot of times people get loyalty convoluted with judgment. They're not
Mm,
doing. They're not loyal in their aspect of loyalty, and,
right.
and that can be on both parts. But to have an accord and have an understanding of what a person's view on what loyalty is, until that conversation is met, until that conversation is had, until that accord is had, neither
Right.
one of you know what the loyalty is in that particular relationship between the two of you. You know nothing about it because you don't understand. Neither one of you don't have. Neither one of you shared your own perspective with each other with open arms. Hence, and I
Well,
say
I
open
think that
arms.
as much as this person was able to share, they did. And then when I didn't listen, remember I said to y'all earlier that I had a habit of not listening, and I had to learn to listen, because when people tell you who they are, they show you who they are. You need to listen. You need to take note. And
Uh-huh.
they were actually giving
Yeah.
me the game plan. I wasn't paying attention.
Mm.
So that was on me.
Oh,
I got to take that one on the chin. So that was on me. And so you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
And that's promising. Go ahead. That's
Right.
promising. Live and learn.
So Right. And so here's the next one. When appropriate, simply ask people what they mean. Making assumptions is a sure way to create misunderstandings and conflict. When in doubt, simply ask. I can show you how to do it tactfully without emotional charge and without triggering emotional reactions in others. I guess that's what the the doctor is saying. So that was the last one there is you just got to ask people what they mean, I guess in situations. And I guess not taking some things too personally, but I believe that is, to me, I got to change my personal definition because I think for me, loyalty and taking things personally, they kind of worked hand in hand for me. And I'm having to break and realize that it's not always that way for everybody. That was my definition. And my definition is not necessarily the definition. And that I can help myself not to be hurt by doing that.
So have this was it came back to me, y'all. After 45 minutes, it came back to me. One of my questions, based off of what you just said, we know what we mean and what we feel. We know what we mean by loyalty. We know what we feel when we feel like somebody violated.
Mhm.
Accountability, self-reflection, and definition and everything else. Are y'all willing to admit or think about, have we ourselves violated the loyalty code for one somebody else?
Oh hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying when I say that?
Oh hell yeah.
Say that. Yeah.
I am.
And I think Margo touched on it a little bit earlier today by saying something about the difference between two people and where they were in their life with certain things or what meant what to certain people. But have maybe the reason somebody stopped being loyal to us is because they were predicting us to respond a certain way to them, and we did not.
Mhm.
That
That's
just
possible.
but
You
that
see what I'm saying?
That's
Because
possible.
remember, for
Yeah.
every action, there's a reaction. So when we start
Reaction.
questioning, somebody said earlier that you start questioning yourself based off of what happened. You know what I mean? Based off of a loyalty violation, you start asking questions. So did we
But I got a
violate?
question.
Go ahead.
With that, along that lines, okay, and because we have discussions sometimes, y'all know we have discussions in the after show and stuff like that, right? And Rick has this thing where he's always like, "Don't talk about this, don't talk about the person because they're not here." Whether it's a person we know, don't know, whatever. Rick is always like, "Stop." Well, to
Right.
me, I don't feel exactly that way. I feel like if I'm talking about a situation, I'm not even concerned. I guess because now that I'm getting older and I'm breaking those deep feelings of loyalty, I am only loyal to the situation at times. And I really wanted to say that to you all, but I'll say it now. This is the perfect time to say it. I'm not always loyal to not talking about that individual for fear that I'm talking behind their back because I'm loyal to that situation that I'm in or that they have done some type of violation or something crazy. And I have to bring it to the forefront because for too long, I can be one of those people that I will hide the feelings of something for fear of not being loyal to. Because remember, that's how I came up. I was always so loyal to,
So
to people. So now
with
I'm
that,
to a point where I'm more loyal to a situation of how I'm feeling then, as opposed to having to be so closed mouth about that
so
individual
you're
if they
what
have
that
done a violation. Go ahead.
so
what
you're
that reminds me
loyal
of is
to yourself. So
what
you're
that
loyal to yourself.
right. So what that
I'm loyal
reminds
to
me of,
myself, yes, which
what
was a
that reminds
change.
me
Go
of,
ahead.
what that reminds me of is the whole thing about when they say leadership or co-workers or whatever, and this is just relationships, period. I'd rather have an honest asshole than a fake snake.
Say that shit one more time, bro.
Mhm.
God
You know what I'm
Yes,
damn.
saying?
yes,
Because
God
I
damn.
yes.
because at that point I know what the fuck I'm sorry. I know what I'm
Right.
dealing with.
You know what
My
you're
bad.
dealing with when you decide to deal with
Yes.
them.
I'd
And
rather
that's
have an
this.
honest asshole than a fake
There
snake.
you
You see
go.
what I'm saying?
And that goes. That's a very, Michael out there, Michael way of saying what I'm saying just now. Yeah, is
Right.
that I'm loyal to that situation at hand. That I have got to get to the bottom of what I'm feeling in that situation, and I can't hold back for fear of talking about somebody especially if they've done something to violate myself, my entity, or something. They've done some type of violation. I can't get caught up in the fact of, oh, I can't talk about them, because I got to be in that situation and be honest about that whole situation. You know what I'm talking about?
I can dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it. I can definitely dig it.
So my ideas of loyalty had to change, because when I was young, it was just like, you always, oh, I don't want to talk behind this person's back. I was like that. I remember high school and then college and stuff like that. But it took me getting my throat cut by some people who I thought were friends.
Oh, okay. You talking about metaphorically? I thought
Yes.
you got.
Okay. I'm just like,
Uh,
what?
what kind of life you living? You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's no cuts in, but
oh, okay.
I had to get I had to get shaped a few
You gotta let
times
shit,
for
you gotta
me
let,
to.
you gotta let stuff out. You gotta let
Yeah.
stuff out. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
gonna
that the pain of getting shanked a few times caught me, and I was like, you know what, you're doing this the wrong way. You need to be a little bit more open, and I think about the situation, not about the person, because that person is not always loyal to me.
because it's like you're letting those know, or certain people know, how much they're sharpening knives for a specific knife that's designed specifically for you. And it's like keeping people on alert. This motherfucker got a knife ready for me. So I'm just letting you know.
They would use it openly and gladly. I discovered that they would use it gladly.
They may have a poison one ready for you. So
hey, look here. If they got a knife, that means iron sharpens iron. But some people will smile in your face, but be your enemy at the same time.
OJ.
Yes, they will.
OJ.
Yes, they will.
OJ.
You know what I'm saying?
OJ's.
Yep.
Hey, but look, y'all hear me talk about Aesop's Fables a lot, man. That book means so much to me. I got a whole nother conversation with Aesop's Fables.
Right.
My pops don't like it, but when I compare Aesop's Fables to the Holy Bible,
hey Margo, why didn't this ninja go why did he enroll in Liberal Arts Academy?
I don't know.
I was in LAA.
Oh, okay.
I was in LAA my freshman year.
Me too. Okay, so okay. Oh.
And I was in LAA my freshman year, and then I was like, yeah, I ain't with all this. Like, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Guilty.
I was because remember, LAA, you had to be at school at 6:00 in the morning.
Bruh.
Yeah.
On the Capital Metro bus.
Yeah. So
0 hour.
Yeah, 0 hour. Yeah. So what I was getting at was oh shit, what were we talking about? It's smiling in your face.
Aesop's Fables in the Bible.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's a separate conversation. If we can talk about that some other time. Aesop's Fables. They have this story. They have this story talking about like the hunter in the woods and the snake or some shit like that.
Hunter gatherer or
no, it's the hunter. He's hunting for whatever he's hunting for, but he runs across an injured snake. Right. And then he takes the snake. He takes the snake or whatever, and he heals the snake. Then when the snake heals, the snake bit him, and he said, and he's now while he's dying, he's like, hey snake, why did you bite me? The snake said, motherfucker, you knew it was our snake when you got me.
I'm a snake.
Like
that was
I didn't know that was an Aesop's Fable.
It's an Aesop's Fable.
I didn't know that. You know what I found out today on a different story? I found out that alligators climb fences. But anyway, I found that out today.
They can have Florida.
Yes, I saw it. It was at a military base. It was a military base, and it went right up. It went right up the gate, and then threw itself down.
Yeah.
So I said,
Tanya's like, you know what? Rats don't sound too bad.
Yeah.
Roaches,
Them some bitches.
I did
Yeah.
not know the alligators climb fences. That really
roaches don't
destroyed
sound
me for a little while today.
Roaches don't
I
sound
was-
too well.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, the only thing that survive a nuclear blast is the goddamn roach. So you know that's some bitch.
No, man.
I'm just trying.
Hey,
Oh man,
I think roaches was a catalyst to invent the two-step. Rick, shut up.
you're
You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
But
You
no.
know
So
what?
what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, James. What I was gonna say
Oh,
was
no, go ahead.
I know we talked about loyalty, certain codes. We have to understand it. I don't have all the answers, and I may not be right, and I could be very wrong in someone else's eyes. So if I'm wrong or somebody disagree with me, please let me know. I'm open, but I'm open to be educated, though. You know what I'm saying?
How?
What you mean how? Boy, you know how social media platforms forget me up. You know what I'm saying? Why money
you
ain't
said
free?
I have all the answers. How, Sway?
Nah, I do not. I don't. I know you're talking
But
about.
like we said, Michael,
Who does?
But like,
Well,
but all I'm saying is like,
as a premise is, we're not experts. We just have experiences. Yeah, okay.
right, and
Right,
everybody have different
exactly.
experience. So, but my thing is, because somebody be like, he wrong on it. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm probably wrong in your eyes,
Right, you're
but
not right. I mean, you're not
right,
wrong. I mean, everybody's got their opinion. You know what I'm saying?
right. I don't see. This is that new expansion shit where you start trying to consider everybody and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because once upon a time, not long ago, I gave a fuck about what somebody thought or didn't know, huh?
I'm telling your mom.
And shit, and my mama worse than me.
Who you get it from?
But nah, man.
That's what I said. I said Michael's he's the apple that doesn't fall far from the tree. His mom is very humorous.
Man.
I thought she was really cute. So,
man.
Yeah. I bet all of y'all
one
together are a hot mess.
Oh man, you talk about it, man. Look.
Hey, mamas and sons get together.
I'm talking mama, son, sisters, brothers, cousins. Man, look here. What my daddy like to say, you gonna have a wang dang doodle.
Right on.
And I forgot the lady who sang that song. It's a female who sang that song. I can't think her name. She said we're gonna have a wang dang doodle all night long.
What is that? Blues?
It's blues. It's blues. I can't. Don't worry about it.
Is it Betty? No, it's not Betty Wright.
Now hold on, I'm finna Google it because I don't want to misquote nobody. I'm finna give everybody
Don't know very much about those blues.
That's
one thing about being in Texas where I had to get used to was you all with the blues. I was like, and they were like, want to go to a blues club and so. Oh, they used to wear
I was never a blues person. I was
Coco Taylor.
Okay.
Coco. Her name Coco Taylor. Coco.
Let's get to the turkey. Let's get to the turkey wrap.
Well, y'all, we have talked about our loyalty tonight. I think that, of course, we said that everybody has their own definition of loyalty, but I think that go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say from the initial title. Your initial title and your initial post was loyalty, and why does it make us? Does it
cause us to take things more personal?
Right. Did we answer that question, or did we address that particular question?
Yeah, I think that we did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I'm saying just in case. We get the audience, right? We want to make sure that they we answer that.
And then the article gave some ways to try to stop taking it so personally, and so I think that us and telling our experiences, and I know for me, like I said, mine has grown over the years, how I was super loyal and thinking that people should be the same as me when I was younger, but now in my older years, I have come to accept and realize that people have different levels of loyalty and that they do not have to be on the same page with me.
Right.
And that sometimes we can dream it up in our own heads of that a person should be loyal to a certain thing. And really, like the article said, it's not about you. Sometimes it's not about you. And everybody can't be like you.
Sorry.
We didn't hear nothing. No, we didn't hear nothing.
No, it is Alanis Morissette. No, because look, I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
The last, what are we at? 2 hours and 29 minutes. Every time y'all said something, I had a song for everything that somebody said.
Wait. Bro,
What?
you telling our
No.
ages. You said Alanis Morissette. You telling our ages, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Carry on. Carry on.
Because based off of what she
Right.
said, she said she started off one way, and then she said
Mm-hmm.
how old she got. That
I
was a
grew.
jab. Now that I'm messing with you. I'm totally messing with you. But no, she said, and I'm saying it because earlier we went down the timeline from 18 to the 20s and 30s and 40s. Um, you live, you learn.
Learn.
Right.
Alanis Moore said, "You live, you learn, you learn." Okay, anyway, sorry.
We
That's
got you.
that,
I like. You
sorry.
know what?
That's all I was going
Mongoose.
to.
I look at the comments and Mongoose says, you can't be wrong. Your path and steps is going to be different. And just because you have a different way doesn't mean one is wrong and the other is right. You both
Oh,
can be right. Just
I
saying.
like that.
Thank
Right.
you.
I like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
I
That's
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
that's actually no, until he gives me permission. But yeah.
Okay. That's
Nah, it's all
cool.
good. No, that's
That's
cool. But all I was gonna say was that what you said and then the Alanis Morissette song, it goes hand in hand
mhm,
because you live and you learn,
mhm.
right?
Mhm.
As they say,
Right.
we adapt, and we overcome. So what one
Right.
definition may have meant to us at one point or one stage in our life, under certain situations and circumstances, as we grow, as we live and we learn, those things are subject to change. And as they change, they might not align with where we're going or where we're growing to be.
Right.
You know what I'm
Now,
Right.
you
saying?
all of you who know me here, y'all already know how I take things personally because I'm loyal to even
Right.
this platform. I can be very, I take things a little personal because of my loyalty even here, and I can be that way, and I recognize that. But I also recognize when I have to back up on anything to make myself feel better about a situation. I've learned that, and that is a part of my growth.
Mhm.
So, well,
All
you
this
know what?
positive energy and this growth and this expansion,
Growth.
this ascension. That's
Right.
what it's ascension, elevation.
Yes,
Yeah.
elevation.
Yeah.
But you know what, y'all? I think we need to take a moment here, and well, first of all, before we take a moment, anything, I had to just ask you, the rest of you, if you have any final thoughts on the whole
Pulling us, pulling,
loyalty thing. I don't want to
mm.
assume that you're done just because I am taking a step back here. I don't want to assume that you're done
Man.
too. So, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of the living room on loyalty?
On the Tanya Springer show. Final thoughts.
Yes,
Mm.
on the Tanya Springer
Yeah.
show.
Um,
Loyalty, loyalty.
just
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
to seeing who
Hey
it is
man,
that you're giving your loyalty to,
say that again.
and if
Mhm.
I missed that. Say that again. I'm sorry.
to
Start over,
see
please.
who it is that you're giving and your loyalty to, like to a certain extent, even though it's like you said, predicting how they're
Right.
going to react, you're
Mm.
still the people that you try to have around you. And maybe we may be holding certain people on higher pedestals, to a certain extent, but it's only because you're thinking of yourself in the sense of that person reflecting you.
Mm.
How certain friends you keep, you're supposed to have them kind of be a reflection of you. And maybe sometimes there's certain things that you didn't pick up on right away, or things you could have just overlooked, or like you said, sometimes with Tanya say certain things you saw that you forgot to pay attention to. Um,
Yeah.
just to watch all that. And I think in reflecting and learning yourself, just learning how to take those moments to step back and
Mm.
evaluate yourself and your choices and stuff like that. And I
Right.
think if you can get to a point to um, just label it and making sure that you're speaking up and speaking out, and whatever conflict you have with whomever it is, like you said, give it in doses,
Mhm.
as well as letting somebody see, where they gain that status and stuff like that, which your loyalty is great.
Okay.
But
Okay. Oh,
I'm trying
Michael
to
must
figure
have
out why
something
Mike
because he is
said,
dancing
yeah,
with
that's
his
all, like, wait a
seat.
No,
minute.
no.
Yes.
I'm so sorry because man, like this is a good conversation. I'm glad we had it because
Mhm.
you can touch on it, you can span on it. And I was just excited because you're making points, you're making
Mhm.
points on some stuff that has been talked about probably forever and ages. But for me, the reason
Yeah.
I'm smiling is because what you said, Miss Lady, I wrote a poem about loyalty, and I just found it in my notes, ducked off
Ooh.
from
Oh,
years ago.
way back
You
when.
share?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a poem. It's got some
Pers-
graphic stuff in there, but I'm just
personal
gonna.
stuff.
So because you
Yeah.
were
Share
going around the
with
room, I was gonna
us.
wait my turn though. But I just got excited when I found it, so I'm waiting my turn.
Go ahead,
Okay.
But
brother.
yeah,
Well, Mark.
it
I
it
okay.
yeah. I'm just gonna sum it up. Um,
Nope.
Uh-huh.
loyalty to yourself first.
Mhm.
Sometimes that's hard because you're so used to waiting for that to be reciprocated from somebody else.
Putting others
Um,
Right.
first because we
yeah,
always
just
taught to put
understand it.
others 1st. Hmm.
Mhm.
But we need to put ourselves first because
Right.
we fall
That's true.
apart, then. But usually, that
Amen.
other person that we place loyalty in is usually like a sounding board, a home base, or a person to bounce ideas off of, as well as, you know, if I'm doing good, they're gonna, promote and push me and applaud me or encourage me. And if I'm doing bad, be like, no, you need to come back around. This ain't you. That type of,
Right.
it's good to keep that type of person around too.
I
But
agree.
that's about it.
I
That's about
agree
it.
with that. Thank you. Thank you, Marco. Michael Lee, you
Uh
ready?
oh no, I know it is. I I
Mm-hmm.
I'm processing because when y'all talk, I do be listening, even though I be doing my little faces and antics. I do be listening and processing. A lot of what y'all say is relevant. It is relevant and it
Right.
makes sense. And I'll go back and replay everything we talked about for the last 2 hours and 36 minutes, 52, 53, 54. Anyway,
It's that mental, that military mental muscle. I dig it. I can dig it.
so I'll go back and replay it and I do a lot of self-reflection. Like I said, the whole resiliency thing has me doing a lot of self-reflection. So
Mhm.
once where I didn't get two bumps about nothing, I go back and I analyze myself to see if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
kind of that's why I said, like, as a grown ass man, I didn't really get to a certain point in my life to be analyzing myself, wondering, hey, I'm sitting here charging this person up or mad at this person for violating my code of loyalty when at some point maybe I violated theirs. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This is me now with a growth mindset, sitting here considering others or considering the opposite side and not just my
Mhm.
own, right?
I get
That's
that.
just being considerate, not
Mhm.
taking away from who I am. You know what I mean? Got to start here first, right?
Mhm.
But listen to everything that everybody said. I'm going to go back and replay this conversation, and then maybe it'll have some remnants in the next podcast. But based off this, and I'm telling you, when was the date of this? I got to find the date. Don't worry about it. Realize everybody ain't loyal. The game will chew you up and spit you out, then ignore you. This life is so screwed up and all about making choices. So realize that everybody ain't for you. Man, I can't go into this because it's real graphic as far as whatever the thing is. But
Wow.
realize that everybody
Read
ain't
it
loyal to
fast.
Yeah,
the
that's
game.
the show.
What she say? Oh, in the after show, yeah. Realize
Yeah.
everybody ain't loyal. The game will chew you up and spit you out, then ignore you. This life is so screwed up and all about making choices. One of y'all said that earlier. So realize everybody ain't for you. So if they violate your definition or your newfound or grown definition of loyalty, they might not be for you, as we all grow into this whole energy, vibration, feeling thing. Remember, we've grown and we've changed and we've experienced life over the years.
Every day till we die.
Right? And you outgrow, my mama told me this. She said, baby, sometimes you outgrow situations. And those situations include people. So anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna
sum. Thank you, Michael.
I'm just gonna sum mines up with the Rickism. Just real quick. Is your loyalty by a fault, or is it your fault you keep expecting it? Done. Good.
Now you know damn well you gotta explain that shit, Rick. Come on here now.
Is your loyalty?
I understood it.
It speaks for itself. Is your loyalty?
It does. But I want you to.
Is your loyalty by a fault, or is it your fault you keep expecting it?
Right.
Because like you just said, and like Margo just said, and like Tanya just said, it's like we're all saying. I believe we're all on one accord. You have your sense of loyalty.
Right.
We all have an agreed sense of loyalty. We can say based on our background, how we are in our upbringing. At some point, it all comes into one understanding. But it's unfair for us to expect it out of people when they're still trying to figure it out, and they still haven't figured it out, and we expect it to be returned or reciprocated to our own measure.
Right.
It's having an open mind and realization that everybody changes. Everybody evolves, everybody learns. Everybody's a teacher, everybody's a student, everybody's a lesson.
Exactly.
So it's ever changing, just like our ages. It's ever changing, just like the ages. You know what I'm saying? Everything's going down.
Now that's a Rickism right there, boy.
Yeah, that one was good. Yay.
Nah, the only reason I asked you to explain it, man, because I know you, we know you, but if you may have some viewers that may not understand Rickism just yet. That's all. And plus, you wouldn't have just hit him with the second Rickism, baby. You know what I'm saying? You got Michael, 2 of them.
I hate you.
All right, my bad.
But see, that's the thing right there. Even loyalty in itself. You know how your friend is. You know how your brother is. You know, like, come on, mother. No, you got to give more than that. I know there's more in you. To have a ringer in your back like that, to push it out, like, no, you're not gonna bullshit yourself. Starting with yourself. You're not gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna let you bullshit yourself.
Right.
Then bullshit these people. Push that shit. Just like hold on. Push that shit. What Robert Townsend say?
Tina Turner. That sound like Ike Turner right there talking about push that shit out.
You know, like what Robert Townsend say in the 5 Heartbeats.
Yeah.
I wrote this in 5-part harmony. Rick, you wrote this in 5-part harmony. Michael, you wrote this in 5-part harmony. Margo, Tanya, you wrote this in 5-part harmony. Sing it right. Don't have no lame mother playing the piano that's not in tune with your tempo. Don't have no mother playing your tune that's not in tempo. Only you know how to sing your song right.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure you do it right.
Huh.
That types, that is a culture that is. It's like it's becoming cursive on the blackboard. People don't do that no more. Get your
right. You don't.
You're not gonna ease that. No, if you're gonna do it right. Michael, I hate you.
Man.
Cheers.
I feel like going on.
I wish I had a trench coat right now. Yay!
Hey. But no, on the real though, thank you, Tanya, for taking the topic and turning it into what you turned it into. You know,
I learned a lot from y'all. And then I'll just add that my thing is I've learned a lot with age, and I've learned now to visually watch people with the loyalty. I don't want to hear your mouth. I want to see what you do.
Right. Actions.
What got
Yes,
there?
the actions. And so that's kind of it for me on that one. So you're quite welcome. I enjoyed the topic because it is interesting to see how other people interpret the whole loyalty thing. It's
It
very
is,
interesting,
and
to
it
see
is,
the interpretation
and,
of it.
and I think it's based off of where you come from and what you do and what you have lived. Because some
Hmm.
take loyalty straight from a street perspective, a lot of people
Right.
take it from a relationship perspective, and
Hmm.
some use it in the professional environment because they all look
Yeah,
at it as
right.
money. So yeah.
And you know what we can do is because next week we are going to be doing the continuation of 20 questions for the lovers. And
Oh,
we should be
yeah.
bringing Cookie and Lamarcus back in for that one. Now, with that is in this part two, we could actually talk about loyalty and relationships because Michael brought that up, and we didn't go there tonight. But at that time, whenever we do that part two, if it's next week or what have you, right now it's scheduled for next week, but we'll see. We could probably do the part two and add loyalty and relationships into that whole thing because that is part of the 20 questions for lovers. So.
Right on.
You said
Right on.
20
Thank
or
you all.
21 questions. Bing,
I'm
ba-dum, bing,
saying
ba-dum,
20, but
bing, ba-dum, bing,
yes, yes.
ba-dum. I'm sorry. I told you it's a song for
Yeah, that,
everything.
yes, because there is a song
Still
for
have
everything.
love
Yes.
of
What if it was
me,
25 questions? What if it was
girl.
25 questions?
You need to love me now.
Hey, what if it was 25 questions?
Hey, it's just FOMO lies you gotta tell.
Hey, hold on. 25 questions. Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Now, I know what you're talking about. I'm messing with you.
Right on. But
Well, you
Tanya,
know what, y'all? We're gonna take this quick break, and we'll be back to end the show in just a few moments.
hey.
I always feel like I should be doing a fist bump at the end of that because it just
Yeah.
gets so happy at the end of the song,
Yeah.
So one day I'm
That-
gonna come back in
yeah,
doing that. So y'all get
That sounds
ready.
like a ring. That is a ring. That sounds like a ringtone. I
Yeah,
want
it
that as my ring.
does.
I want
I
that as my
like
ring.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. It's an artist by the name of Liquid, so
Right
it's hot.
on. Right on.
All right, y'all. Well, as we get ready to end here, you know how we do. We do our ending. We like the beginning. We call the ringer. Rick is the one who named that the ringer. Where
The
we
rent. No,
I'm sorry,
The rent.
the
the
rents, the rents.
The
That's
rent.
right, the rents. Because you rents it off everything from the world and coming in here. But what are you going to call the ending where you putting your suiting back up to go back out there? So you got to come up with a name for the ending. How
Shoot.
when you
Hold on.
Polish and dry or set and dry.
Huh?
set and dry.
because like when you get in the show at the beginning of the show when I asked everybody how their week was, that's the rents. And you're rinsing off the outside world and coming in here to talk.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah. So
Oh,
now
so
you
then,
now you
okay, so
I'm sending you back out.
there'll be the rents and then there'll be the sparkle.
well, when you coming out the car wash, now you get that dry on you, and then you got to go out there and wipe it down
To what? Eventually, and it'll eventually what?
to
Sparkle.
shoulders, chest, pants, shoes.
I
Stop.
just-
I done went into a whole different personality from
Yeah.
Man,
Who was that?
Whole nother song. There was a whole nother song.
I'm surprised, Michael.
Yes.
Look, when you get a club,
That
no,
guy.
when you get a club, no surprise.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Rick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uh, Sunday
All right.
is on it. Sunday is on and popping, pippin. Because Sunday I'll be officially Mr. Russell.
Hey.
Now,
wow.
but me and you'll talk later though. We'll talk about that later.
I welcome it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to see what you do. All right, y'all. And stick around in the after show because I got a few words I'm going to speak on y'all for a minute. But I want to see what you all have planned going forward this week. So, did we start last time with Rick? So, we're going to start this time with Margo. And what do you got planned coming up this week as we walk back out of the doors of AIL?
This week, more DIY. I'm actually working on a project for a birthday gift for somebody that I need to finish. I actually started it last year and
Uh
never
huh.
finished it, but I need to finish it now because this will be their gift and a couple of other birthday parties and celebrations and stuff like that to go to. Besides that, just more work, work, and work. But that's about it.
All right. Okay, cool. Thanks for being here. Michael Lee, it's on
What's
you.
happening? Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Michael Lee, aka Mr. Turn 'em Loose, trying to get y'all in the mood to feel this groove as we do what you choose. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, look, you know what I mean? Hey, but
Yeah.
look, no, life
Baby.
is grand, life is great. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to live to see another day. You understand what I'm saying? Look here, man. Uh, Turn 'em Loose Foundation 5013C coming soon. Oh.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
cool.
um, uh, been having a lot of you know, uh, I can't even say closed door meetings, but it's on all what they call it, the chat app and all this other stuff that they have, the chat apps and all this other stuff. Um, but technology's a mother beaster, and you can do a lot of things, but we've been coordinating, man. We've been getting some good stuff, and it's nice to see your name on an official.org email. It's your own shit.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
is
You know what I'm saying? You know,
right.
M. Russell at turn'emloose.org. You what the hell? Who said what now? What? You know what I mean? So
Right.
no, just doing some work, man, and the folks we got on the scene,
Mhm.
that's doing phenomenal work trying to help us get started. And then, if anybody ever tried to start something, a business or a 5013C C3, I got to get it right.
Mm.
That
C3.
paperwork,
Mhm.
and that out of pocket expense, man, ain't no joke. So people on the team, Miss Brown, appreciate her helping us out a lot. Her and her fam just helping us out on that. Um, but that's what's coming soon, man. So between Turn 'em Loose LLC and Turn 'em Loose nonprofit organization, man, we just looking at some stuff. Had some opportunities to meet some folks and kind of network a little bit as we trying to pave our way for the future. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But other than that, man, I'm finna TikTok y'all ass to death when I get a chance. Now that I'm done with the military, I'm telling you, I'm done with the military. Air Force can't do, what I'm saying. So at this point, well, what time is it? What time is it, y'all? Or is it past
It
midnight?
is.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. It's past midnight. Shit, I'm good. It's past midnight.
I'm
Congratulations.
Oh, hold on. Wait, wait,
Congratulations
wait.
to you.
Wait. Hold on. It's the 23rd. Shit.
You know
I got
what?
24 hours, y'all. I got
You know
24
Yeah.
what?
hours.
You know what?
one more
Shit.
I'm
day.
happy
I
for
gotta hold on. I gotta be good for 24 more hours. But nah, man. But no, it's just, man, really be honest with you. Um, not not knowing and then walking through these steps, I love it. I love the journey. Sometimes it's a little frustrating, but I love the journey because I crave knowledge. So if anybody has any advice, words of wisdom, or whatever, please impart thy knowledge upon thee. You know what I mean? Because I am a sponge and I take it all in. I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
I
End
say.
quote. End quote. Pass the mic.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Thank you, Michael Lee. Of course, we have a lot of information for you. Um, a lot. We'll talk. We'll talk as far as business is concerned. A lot of us been around for a little while, and so we might be able to help you in some ways in the future here. So just hang on for
Knowledge.
that.
Hang on. Hold on. Took your love. I'm telling you, I got a song for everything. Hey, I bet that's, you know what? I'm probably finna take up DJing. That's what I'm probably gonna do.
DJing's fun. I used to be a DJ back in the day.
What?
Yep.
Check out
Tanya has
Candyland.
a history. Tanya has a history. All right, I'm telling you, Rick. Let's spit some Rickisms on our way out here. So,
Actually, I've been listening to this one artist for quite some time on Bandcamp, and it was like since like 2018. I'm like, yo, wait, what? And then I finally ran into her on Instagram. I was like, yo, you the same such and such as this, you the same person that did this? Like, yeah. Look, I've been trying to find you. Like, your music speaks life. It speaks volumes. It fertilizes soil. You know what I'm saying? Her name is actually exactly how it sounds. Her name is Destiny X. You can find her on Spotify, Bandcamp, obviously, and Amazon Music. She has this song called Chai, which is CHAI, Destiny X. And just recently, she commissioned me to do a piece for her this week. And it's very exciting, actually, because I actually gave her a painting of her. And, of course, she took a picture of it with her because I like to support local artists. And she's up and coming. I'm actually like kind of surprised that like her name is not in the sound waves, but that's fine. But that's the thing. I want artists to feel encouraged and know that it's not necessarily that you have a fan, but more so you do have an appreciator of your craft. You know, because music today is like you really want something real, you have to actually find it. You have to look for it. It's not like how BET was back in the day when we had video and we had video vibrations. If y'all forgot, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I reached out to her and like she reached out to me and like, hey, I want to commission a piece. And I was like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait, what? You know, so her music, give it a shot. And I promise you, you won't bleed. I promise you. Her name was Destiny X. The name of the album is called Chai. The name of the album is called Chai. CHAI. It is that album. It is. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm working on a commission piece for that, for her and several other people. But this end product, with her permission, I'll go ahead and showcase. I'll showcase it here on the cast, so y'all can see. Y'all get a taste of or remembrance of the Rickisms. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be at peace.
I need those Rickisms in my background. Yeah,
you know they coming.
Back there.
You know they coming because if I don't, I'm gonna hear from Mama. Rick Adams, Rick Adams, Mama. Well, you can't raise your voice from mamas. Boy, who you talking to? No.
You know what? I'm still working on my art piece, and I actually didn't get a chance to work on any of it this week at all. But I was so excited because I got my charcoal so I could stop having to use this, you know. So I got my charcoal powder.
The graphite.
Yeah, I'm using graphite also. I'm using the both of them together. And I mean, because I go back and forth between the two. And so that's I'm working on this piece, and you know I'm trying to do it in kind of a fashion of a hyper realism type thing. So, I'm dying to show you, Rick, but I'm chicken butt. I'm just chicken butt. Let me work on it for a little while longer.
When you're ready.
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But you know what? I see. But you know what, y'all? I'm just excited right this moment because number one, the fall is my favorite season, and it's starting to feel kind of fallish. It got warm here again for a bit, but it's gonna get chilly again, and it's like it's my favorite season. Yeah, it will. I saw it's gonna drop, and so I have fall fever.
Yeah, hopefully don't fall with the temperature and fall with the electricity. Rick, just
I know, right? But the thing is, I'm excited because we are heading towards some planetary transitions, and I talked to y'all a little bit in the after show, and I'm just so excited about that because as we do that, that means so many things are going to move forward and so many plans I can execute. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and roll my social media as we get out of here, and then I'll tell you who's coming up next week on the Soul Spotlight.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon, so be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media.
All right, and don't forget to like and subscribe, to the channel so that you can know when we're doing shows, whether it is the Soul Spotlight or here in the living room, Who Spiked the Tea, whatever we're doing. You can tune in and come in the comments with us, or if you want to be a guest on the show, be sure to hit us. You can hit us at info@tandiland, TANDILAND.com, or if you prefer to just hit me on Gmail, do Tandiland, TANDILAND, AIL@gmail.com. So if you want to be a guest on the show, you want to just tell us what we're doing, you like, you don't like, whatever, just check us out. But Michael, what you showing me?
Y'all got me scratching the back of my damn head on here.
You be doing too much. You were doing too much, and you kept freezing. I'm sorry. So I'm sitting over here, and I'm like clicking. Y'all don't see me. I'm just clicking all kinds of little things, and I'm doing everything in my little space over here. And you know what? It's easier to do with all of you in the living room. It is the hardest thing to do when it's one-on-one on the Soul Spotlight. I am going crazy trying to talk to people and do social media at the same time. So at some point, I got to pull somebody in to do that social media because that is killing me. But coming up, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just finna comment on these pictures, but we're gonna do it on live. We'll do it after the show.
Okay. But coming up this week, Soul Spotlight on Wednesday night, the 27th, we have MDI, which is Mother and Daughter Ish. They're going to come in and talk about their podcast and their organization and all the things that they do. So make sure you tune into that for that. That's Wednesday, October 27th, 8 p.m., 5 p.m. if you're on the Pacific time. And then on Thursday, I'm doing something a little bit different. We're doing a later show because I have the special guest actor and comedian. Yep, he's going to be here. My house. And so if you come in, you see this show is going to be at 10 p.m. So it's going to be at 10 p.m., 7 p.m. Pacific time. So if you get a chance, swing in. And that goes for you guys too. Y'all want to swing in, just let me know. Hit me up. Tell me what's going on. And
hey, you can talk about my mama. You can talk about my mama. You can rob me. You can be my kids, but don't my money. Don't my money. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So,
Mr. King of Venice Beach. Mr. King of Venice Beach.
He's I can't wait for that interview. I had a great time this week with Chef Cat and Not the Boogie, so I can't wait till next week and be with MDI and Michael Collier. And I got a lot more coming up for November. We got a lot. I'm trying to increase the number of shows, but I tell you, it's a lot going on. So that's why I say is anytime y'all want to come in, just let me know and come on into that soul spotlight. You see, it's a soul spotlight. All right. But I thank you all for being here. I thank you all for tuning in. Again, make sure that you like and subscribe because you never know who we're going to have on the show and you would want to be here. Okay.
Ain't that a Kanye song?
What's that?
Spotlight, this is all we know.
Yes, you're the sound man tonight.
I'm sorry.
You're the sound man tonight.
I am.
But
I better be lucky I ain't got no music.
You miss. But how we say always imparting, I like to say good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient. But the best things come to those who never give up. I'm Tanya Dixon. And this is my living room people tonight. And we shall see you next time on Art Imitates Life. In the words of Michael, bye-bye.